Stand up, New York Giant fans. We are back and we are live. Let me pop in here. What is going on, Nash? Mets fam in the house. Bobby Woodruff in the house. Odell Beckham in the house. Diehard Giants fan in the house. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that thumbs up. I see Rudy the Gamer was in here. Jackie Boy in here. Charles Dale in here. Thank you to everybody for being in here. I do appreciate it. We're going to open up the phone lines in just a couple of minutes. What's going on, Slinky? Thank you for tuning in. Kenny Joseph, Andy Garcia. We're going to wait till a couple of people pop in here until we open up the phone lines. I know Bobby Woodruff was in here. Alex Sports in the house. Anthony Simonelli, XDS in the house. Andy Garcia, Anthony Simonelli, Alex Sports, Christian Az, Dominic Corey. Yeah, the Giants got absolutely spanked last night. Yesterday, rather. 425. And defense was awful. Just an awful performance all around. Offense looked okay. Offensive line was able to block pretty well, but overall just a horrible performance. A horrible start to the year. Now we hit that like, guys. I do appreciate it. 1 second, guys. But, you know, we got to take a positive approach, right? Hopefully this defense gets better as the year goes along. Now we find out that Shepard is, you know, got a concussion. So hopefully he get back. Oh, one giant bottle. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate that. He says, stand up, my friend. Can't wait for November 10th. Yeah, exactly. The Giant-Jet game. I'm going to be at that game. I'm going to be sitting with OGR. Cannot wait for that. Bad Dog will be there. Hopefully we get to meet some of you guys. Stelton House, D-Man Entertainment, Rudy T. Thank you to everybody for being here. Spike that like. I hope we're not tanking, guys. I really hope we're not tanking. Sharice, what's going on? Jeremy Newsbaum. And I was just trying to get some more people in here. Then we'll open up the phone lines. Tonight I was watching the Monday Night Football game. Just not a very good game from what I saw so far. I was surprised. I thought the Saints would blow them out, but we're here to talk Giants football. What's going on, Bavi? Billy, Bob in the house. Yeah, that whole Cowboys offense haunts me. Randall Cobb, Jason Witten, everybody tore us to shreds last night. Obviously, I don't got it. We did a decent job on Zeke, believe it or not, but Prescott tore us to shreds. Our defense couldn't guard anybody. But Steven Gutierrez in the house. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. And we are going to be opening up the phone lines. Chad in the house. Thank you for being here. Rocky in the house. Very pleasant surprise. Didn't know you were streaming tonight. What's up? What is going on, my man? Yeah. I'm going to do a post-game. I'm going to do a post-game call-in show. Usually the day of the game. Not taking calls yet, Bobby. Not taking calls yet, Bobby. I'm going to do a post-game the day of the game usually. This was a 425 game. Next week, I'll be having a call-in show right after the game. I'll have my reaction video, and then I'll have a call-in show right after the game. Thank you for being here, though. We're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to start taking some calls. Phone number is 914-481-3540. 914-481-3540. And you knew Bobby was going to be first. He called me 3 times before I opened up the numbers. He wants to be the first one on.
That was naughty. I'm sorry.
I'm used to it, Bobby. I'm used to it. What's going on, my man?
I was pissed off. Those referees are freaking cheaters, I tell you.
Yeah.
When Eli rolled out,
go ahead.
And then the guy, he was in the end zone and he got mauled. What happened to that call? That was a pass interference?
Well, yeah, it was. The other questionable call was the intentional grounding, where the refs called an intentional ground on an Eli Manning.
Yeah, that was bullshit too.
But here's the thing. Bobby.
Yeah.
I never like to blame the game on the referees. The Giants got outplayed.
Well, come on. Okay. What about the punt return? The guy that the guy threw our guy into that. Was that not intentionally or what?
No, I mean, yes, Bobby, there were definitely some very questionable calls in this game. But at the end of the day, when you watch that game, we got no pass rush. The secondary got torn to shreds. Our defense was horrible. It was horrible. I can't.
Well, they didn't use our guy Barkley too much either. What is he? You know, we got him for a reason, and he's on the sideline.
Well, that was the other problem. They only gave him 11 carries, and you're not going to win many games.
They should give him more.
Last year they won 2 games. There were 12 games where he had under 20 carries. They won 2 of them. So
right, and then they took him out in the Eagle game. Remember, they took him out in that Eagle game after halftime.
yeah, I mean the whole first half last year they underutilized Barkley. In the running game, the whole first half.
Right. I was pissed.
Yeah, well, you should have
There's
been.
not to it.
You should have been.
I was like throwing stuff at my computer. So
Yeah.
I was that pissed.
Well, you had the Giants going 11-5. Have you changed your expectations after seeing that performance?
No, it's still early. It's still early. We could turn things around. It's only one game.
Yeah.
It's only one game. I wish the Redskins kept that lead. I was going so crazy for that. It was 17-0, but they blew that.
Oh well, the Redskins were good there in that first half, and then everything went to hell. The Eagles always do that.
Yeah,
they always do that.
I know.
But
I know.
what was your thought? I mean, what are the Giants? Obviously, the defense is really bad, right? Off this performance.
We should pick up that Brandon Marshall guy.
Well, I don't know if you watched my video. They picked somebody up. He's not Brandon Marshall. He's a undrafted rookie, outside linebacker, pass rusher.
But why don't they pick up Brandon Marshall?
I don't think they're going to at this point. The roster's filled. I don't think they're.
Well, get rid of that guy that we just signed the Brandon Rod. We can't do that.
The biggest problem we have Bobby, is the secondary and the pass rush. Without a
Brandon Rod. I mean, the guy from who was on the Raiders that just got
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Who did he go to? Did he go to?
I believe he's still unsigned, but he's not going to be a Giant.
Why not? He's great. He won a Super Bowl. He was on the Super Bowl team.
He was on the 2015 team. Maybe you should call Dave Gettleman and ask him, because I don't have the answer for you, Bob.
I know, but they call tomorrow. And what about these tickets? You better.
No. That's what One Giant Rebuttal just super chatted me about. We're going to be sitting together, and I will give you the details.
Yeah. Well, where at? Do you know what section?
I'll give you the details when we find out. We're still waiting on a few more people.
Okay, I want to sit next to the good seats down where they come out.
We'll figure it out, Bobby. I will let you know.
Yeah,
By the way the Giants look today, we'll probably get to go for free. Or yesterday, rather.
For free?
No, I'm joking with you. I'm saying the Giants played so bad, nobody's going to want to go to the games. But what did you think?
Oh, yeah, well, it's the Jets' home thing. It's the Jets' home thing.
Right. Well, the Jets didn't look too good either, Bobby.
Well, yeah, they should have won that game. Oh, my God, they should have won that game.
Yeah.
My brother was pissed.
What did you think of...
there's that, look who's in the chat. Bigger Mike.
Bigger Mike's the man. Bigger Mike's the man.
No, he's not the man. He is a little boy in a bathtub. He's a big boy in the bathtub playing with his stupid ducks. That's what he is.
Oh, God, Bobby, you are a character, my friend.
No, don't have it. I don't want to see him. I might leave chat.
Well, you relax, Bobby. He's a good subscriber.
No, he makes me crazy.
Do
you go into Discord and listen to the shit he gives us?
I do not.
He gives us a lot of shit all the time.
I'll have to listen one time.
You got to come in.
I'll come in. I'm in the process of creating my own Discord.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, you could join.
Yeah, no, I will, Bobby. I will, Bobby. Relax. I will.
Well,
What did you?
Funny at night. You got to see the way. Are you off tomorrow?
No.
Oh, you have to work tomorrow.
What did you think about the news on Sterling Shepard, Bobby? Now he's got a concussion.
Yeah, that's not very good. Is there any free agent wide receivers we have out?
Our wide receiver, Russell Shepard's going to be in the starting lineup if Sterling Shepard's out. We're very thin at the position to begin with.
No, I know, but is there a free agent out there we can pick up?
None that I know of. Nobody that they're going to bring in. They brought in some guys on the practice squad before the season started. Reggie White Jr., I believe, is on the practice squad.
He's good.
Well, he could be, along with Sims, the former quarterback, was a good receiver for West Virginia, so one of those guys could get promoted.
Yeah, but I'd rather get we need a big one.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bob. I agree with you.
Oh, there's a Little Mike. Little Mike's in your chat, too.
Oh, good to see.
He's a brother.
But anything else, buddy? What's up, Gabe? Thank you for tuning in.
Little Mike, you're a schmuck, too, so shut the hell up. I even know that little punk. He's probably a snot-nosed little rat that's he's like a thorn on your side. All right, so, yeah, I called the cop pistol before, too.
Oh, yeah, so I was having a call-in show. Good that you got through. I know you... Go Go ahead,
You
Bobby.
guys don't like him. He said he does. You guys don't like him.
Who said that?
Top Pizzle.
Well, he's putting words in my mouth. I never said I don't like Cop Pizzle.
Oh, that's what he told me. He said asked you about not liking.
No, never said that. Never once said that.
I like his little daughter. You ever see his little daughter?
Yeah, she's adorable. She's adorable.
I know. I told her they grow up fast. My daughter's in 8th grade already. She's 13.
All right, Bobby.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to let you go because I got some people calling in, but thank you for the call, Bobby.
Yeah, I know. I hope my friend Mark calls in. I hope he calls in.
Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. Thank you for the call, buddy.
And not laugh what he says. You know.
All right, man. Have a good one, Bobby. Have a good
He's
one.
a good guy.
All right, Bobby.
Bye now.
Have a good one. Next call, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Stand up, the entertainer.
My man, John Letourneau, big Eagles fan. I'm sure you're happy off of your Week 1 win. You guys had a nice comeback there.
Yeah, it was looking grim in the beginning, man. I didn't know why we were starting off so sluggish, but I was like, okay, we haven't played nobody in the preseason, so I was hoping what we did, and we did what I thought we would do in the second half. Which I don't like to do that because we get down by a good team, we might come up short or whatever like that.
Well, I kind of predicted this Week 1. I thought you guys would win, but you'd come out sluggish. You did the same thing last year. Wentz is coming up a year. He hasn't played the last 5 games. I had a feeling. I actually thought the game had been closer than it was. I thought the Redskins would keep that close, and I thought you'd come out sluggish. I didn't think you'd fall behind 17 points.
Right.
And now you guys got the Falcons. Is that a home game or an away game?
We're going into Atlanta.
Okay, that'll be an interesting game because Atlanta needs that game.
Yeah. So before I get into what I was going to say about your Giants, I called Cop Pizzle, and guess what I did, Chris?
What?
I sang the whole Fly Eagles song to him.
I'm sure he loved that. I'm sure he loved that.
Yeah, he said, because I started and I was about to stop. He's like, you might as well finish it. Yo, I asked the Giants to do one thing for me. One thing. And they couldn't do it. And I got to say, Eli was amazing in that game. He played well, which I was kind of shocked. I thought he would have. I was hoping. I wanted to see Daniel Jones out there first week, but like you said, you already have a lot invested in him. But he played well. It wasn't him. He had some that intentional crowning call was bogus. That was some bullshit. He got hit. What do you expect a guy to do? To air it out when he's getting hit? Like what?
No. Eli Manning yesterday played as good as you could ask for. I mean, I'm not saying he played a flawless game, but you got to take into account he's playing a very good defense on the road. The guy goes 30 for 44 for over 300 yards and a touchdown. He didn't turn the ball over. I mean, if you would have told Giants fans that going into the game, that he's gonna throw for what is that, like I don't remember, probably 65% completion percentage and a touchdown, not turn the ball over, throw for over 300 yards, they would have signed up for that in a second. So
you know what?
Eli had nothing to do with why we lost this game.
Right. Regardless of how bad your defense played, without some questionable referee calls, that game was a lot closer than it was, and your defense was still bad. They should have put up way more than 35. So if you were looking at it that way, questionable calls on penalties that could cost you some possible points, it was a lot closer. It could have been like 35-31. You never know. But I'm an Eagles fan, but Shurmur has to go, man. That's why he's been shopped around so many times. He keeps putting you in a bind against us. He stopped running Barkley. He does it again yesterday. 11 carries? Is he out of his effing mind?
That's the biggest problem I had. Barkley, I think he had at least 2. I think he had 3 carries in that first drive. So after the first drive, he only had 8 carries. And how do you only give you... He's your best player. I mean, he's got to have at least 20 carries every game. And it's ridiculous. And I get it that they kind of fell behind at some point, but he had been in that role long before. He had opportunities to run him on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and he didn't run it. He's your best player. It made no sense to me whatsoever.
That's game changers right there. That could be potential points. The Eagles would have been closer to, or probably even ahead if I can't say that because your defense didn't show up.
Well, the defense was abysmal. But the positives I take out of this game, there's none on the defensive end. 0. The defense played one of the worst games ever. The offensive end, the offensive line played relatively well. They gave Eli a pretty decent pocket. They ran the ball effectively when they chose to run. And Eli played good. Ingram had a big game. So the offense, as I said going into the season, I'm not very worried about the offense. I think the Giants have a solid offense, no matter who's at quarterback, whether it be Daniel Jones, Eli Manning. The defense is the concern, and I think it's going to continue to be the concern because they're so inexperienced.
Right. But before I go, man, if you come to the Eagles, you'll be cheering all year if you want to. But I love you, Chris, man. Everybody step up to Chris the Entertainer and Bad Dog and Cop Pizzle, man. These guys are the best, even though they're Giants fans. Oh, yeah, I forgot one more thing. Philly 500 called in and gave Cop Pizzle some shit.
Oh, I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I'll have to listen
it's crazy,
to that.
Man. But you're the man, Chris. I love you, man. Go Eagles.
I appreciate all the support, John. Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a good one, my man. Next call, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
I love you. What?
Hello?
Oh, Poppy, make me sloppy.
What? I don't even know what he just said. That was a horrible prank call. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Ann and Danny and Justin.
What is going on, Justin? How you been, buddy?
Good.
What's up? I know you're usually very down on the Giants, and I'm sure you're not gonna be happy after that performance.
No, preseason, I was like, Gettleman's proved me wrong.
Right.
But nope, it wasn't Gettleman this time letting me down. It was Shurmur and, oh, God, I forgot a freaking offense coordinator.
Shula and Shurmur, the offense.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
So you think the offense was the big letdown? I think the defense was the big letdown. I mean, the play calling was bad.
No, the play calling. That's the only thing I'll complain about with the offense.
Right.
Other than that, the offense was good.
Right.
But the defense, they looked horrible.
Oh, it was horrible.
What was Betcher's game plan exactly?
His game plan looked like it was a bunch of mishmash. He was blitzing a lot. They weren't getting anywhere near the quarterback. Single coverage. Sometimes he'd play zone. They would just dump it underneath. I was looking at some of the highlights. Dak Prescott ran an RPO. The first throw I think he made. The guy had 9 yards of separation. The cornerback was playing. It looked like 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. And I guess Tay Davis was supposed to be in coverage. They faked him out with the run, but the defense, the coverage was horrible. The entire game,
I don't know
awful.
if they were playing zone or man the whole game.
They were doing a little bit of both.
Tell.
Didn't matter what they played. Didn't matter.
I was like, why is people... I recorded the game and watched it after I got off work. I was like, why is the middle of the field open every 5 seconds?
The first touchdown they threw, there was nobody for miles.
It's just like, what? Did the dude go to Manhattan? Did the whole defense go to Manhattan?
Now, I try to always be optimistic. The offensive line, you had to be pretty encouraged by, right? The offensive line stood up.
Hey, we actually got this thing called an offensive line. I forgot you need that with a football team. I forgot.
Yeah, the O-line looked solid. Eli had protection. They gave holes to Barkley. So that's one thing, and this was a good test this week. Cowboys have a good front seven.
Yep.
So at least the O-line looks...
we don't have freaking Eric Flowers tripping people being a derp every 5 seconds. It's like, hey, Eric Flowers did something good. Never mind, he tripped someone.
Yeah.
When you think Eric Flowers did something good last year, it's like, hey, he blocked someone. Shit, never mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was his whole tenure with the Giants. He was horrible. He was horrible. Waste of a first-round pick.
Yep. And we should have got Todd Gurley with that pick, but...
Oh, God, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
Oh, God.
You're going to get me depressed. But the offensive line was good. The offensive line was, considering the opponent.
The offense was good.
Yeah.
Manning showed me something.
Eli played good. The play where he escaped the
sack. He
sack.
had a little more whip on the ball. A little bit, but not much. A little bit of whip on that ball.
Yeah. I thought Eli played well. He's not going to be the quarterback here for longer if this defense doesn't get it together, because of course they're going to throw in Daniel Jones and see what they got. If they're 1-5, what's the point of keeping Eli in there?
It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Unless you're doing like a farewell tour for Eli.
No.
You got farewell to him.
At that point, you put Daniel Jones in the game. But I thought Eli played well. If the defense was up to snuff, we'd be a pretty decent team this year. But unfortunately, with how young the defense is, inexperienced, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I don't know if Betcher was looking everywhere else, like looking for a girl with big tits and stands. Like, I don't know what the hell he was doing there in the game.
No, he was lost. The defense sucks, though. Let's be real. I mean, you need the personnel. And they don't have it. I mean, they could get a lot better. They're very young, but right now they're not an NFL defense. They're just not, based off that performance.
Right now, my high school team could run all over this freaking defense.
They made Dak Prescott look like he was Joe Montana.
I was like, wait, are we facing Peyton Manning or Tom Brady?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm confused.
Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is. I guess the one positive, the guys up front did a decent job against the run. Ezekiel Elliott didn't run all over us if you want to look at it from a glass half full. But in terms of pass coverage, it was horrible. Horrible.
But this is the one thing I want to say. Run Barkley. Holy fuck. Can we run Barkley? Literally, you got barely anything at wide receiver because we're so thin. Coleman's out. Shepard's probably out for the year because of concussion.
Well, not the year.
Tate's suspended.
Yeah. Shepard probably going to miss next game, though. Probably going to miss next game.
Shepard will miss a couple games because of concussion.
I hope not. Knock on wood, I hope not. But it's not looking good, that's for sure. We saw George Asapo-Ajayi in training camp. He missed the entire preseason because of a concussion.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait and see and hope for the best.
You need Barkley to carry this team on his back until you get a receiving core. We're building it, but it's on the injured list right now.
Yeah.
The wide receiver core for us is basically the New York Yankees right now. Injured.
Yeah, only the Yankees win.
And it hurts me saying.
Yeah, but only the Yankees win.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah. But anything else, my man?
But, oh my God. Shurmur is such a freaking idiot. I'll tell you. Canned or he's not good either. If this keeps up and we play like this for the whole year, we're either going 1-16 or 0-6. Or wait, 1-15 or 0-16.
Oh, if we play like that every week, if we play that way every week, we're not beating many teams. That defense, could have put
the only team we'll probably beat playing that way is the Dolphins.
Dallas could have put up 50. Dallas could have put up 50 on us if they wanted to. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. But Justin, man, I just want to say thank you for being a great subscriber. Thank you for the call. I got somebody else calling in. But thank you. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
And what is going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
I'm going to get straight to the point.
I like that.
Listen, I hate when every time a person says, start Daniel Jones, start Daniel Jones this, start Daniel Jones that, this and that. It's nonsense. We need Eli Manning for at least 6 weeks. Let him start 6 weeks. That's it.
Listen, man. I mean, I'm sure you watched my post-game video. Who is this, by the way? I always like to know who I'm talking to.
This is Kenny.
Kenny, okay. Eli Manning was not the problem in that game. He's just not. He was. And you're a Giant fan. You're on YouTube. You see how it is. Half the Giants fan base is going to blame Eli Manning no matter. Eli could have a perfect game. I called the game last year. I did a stream. I forget who they played. He was 17 of 18. He threw one incompletion. And half the chat bashed him for the incompletion. So, I mean, and not to say there aren't games where he's bad. Of course, he's bad sometimes. But yesterday was not the game to do it. He had nothing to do with that loss. And we're going to see Daniel Jones. It's just a matter of when. So, everybody who hates Eli, give it some time. If this team's bad enough, you'll get to see your guy.
And, why does every Giants fan want Eli to throw the ball downfield if it's not there? Because every time, let's say Eli throws us 50, 30 yards, 35 yards up the field, and it's an interception. And it's and it's tied up in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, the Giants are down by 7. Everyone gonna say, bench Eli, start Daniel Jones, It's gonna happen every single time. It's an inaccurate pass.
Well, that's what Pat Shurmur said. That's what Pat Shurmur said in the press conference. He said they were in cover 2. They were taking away the deep play, and Eli was taking what the defense gave him. Now, I get the frustration late in the game because I was streaming the game, and I got that, right? Because it was 3rd and 15, and at that point, you're down 20. Try to make a play, right? I got that. That was the one time in the game where I said, you're right. We shouldn't be checking it down there. I agreed with that. But Eli made some good plays down the field. Not everything was checkdowns. He had a couple of big plays. He had a big play to Ingram. He had a big play to Latimer. He had a big play where he avoided the sack, hit the guy on the left sideline. People don't want to point that out, but he did.
Well, in my I commented on your video about James Betcher, like you making a video about James Betcher, and I said that the Giants would be a top 15 defense. Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
I was wrong. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're not even gonna be close to a top 15 defense. Not this year.
This is the final score because I always have high hopes for every season. I'm a Giants fan. I was a Giants fan since like 2010. The last 9 years, man. I really started watching football 2015, to be honest with you. But ever since that 2016 season, when we went 11-5, I had my roots fight every single year. We go 12-4. This and that. I watched ESPN. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. They said they bad Giants have a below average.
Yeah. Oh, he just hung up. I lost him there. He was coming in a little low there, so I probably lost him. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, what's going on, brother?
What is going on? Is this Darnell?
No, it's Sydney, man.
Oh, Sydney. What's going on, Sydney? How you doing, buddy?
Yo, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Actually, I'm not good. I'm bad.
Yeah, you're not good. Not if you're a Giant fan, you ain't good.
I'm bad because we lost, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say this. I got to get this off my chest real quick. Now, I remember a while back, right? The Giants, we prided ourselves on defense.
Right.
Right? You remember that? We prided ourselves on defense. I don't know what that was last night, but that wasn't defense. I mean, I know they picked on the rookie Baker a little bit or whatever. We had a couple of bad calls, but the bad calls, even if they would have went our way, I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game at all. But like the guys, they just look like, I don't know, man. Unless Dallas is that good, they just look like, they look like a bunch of college players out there.
No, listen. Well, they are basically. There was a lot of those players. It was their first game, and I'm still excited for DeAndre Baker. I still think he's going to be a really good player, but he's not ready. Not yet. I mean, he got burnt over the top. Antonio Hamilton, I don't even want to talk about him. I don't know why he was on the field.
Oh, man.
That play against Randall Cobb was disgusting.
Bro, the man could not make a tackle. I mean, we were watching the game. I'm reading the comments. Everybody was happy that he finally had made a tackle.
Yeah.
When he
tackle. Yeah. When he got a tackle like the fourth or fifth ball that was thrown at him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the offense, we did all right on offense, man. It was just, it's crazy because I was worried about our offensive line and how they were going to play. And to me, they actually did pretty good.
Yeah, well, the offense played good enough to win that football game, other than the third and short situations. There was bad play calling on the 3rd and 1s, the 3rd and 2s, but they moved the ball. I mean, to put up 500 yards on the Dallas Cowboys, you're doing something right.
Yeah, it's like you said, man, the play calling, I don't know what that was about. The defense, I don't even think they was even suited up. There had to be some ghosts out there or something.
Yeah.
Because you can't play for the Giants, man, and not, and not bring it on the defense. I don't know if they need Michael Strahan to come in there and talk to those guys and give them an uplift or something, but they can't come out like that next week, man.
No, the Buffalo Bills are not going to be easy. Josh Allen's a mobile quarterback. We know the Giants, they always struggle against mobile quarterbacks. He's got a big arm, and their defense is really good. Buffalo Bills have a really good defense. So it's not going to be an easy game to win. Yeah, especially if Sterling Shepard's out with the concussion. But it's a game they have to win. They cannot start 0-2. They have to find a way to win that game.
Yeah, yep. They'll pull it out though, man. I just wanted to let that fly a little bit just because, man, I didn't appreciate the defense at all. But hopefully we get it cleaned up, man. We get in the film room, get it cleaned up, and come out and do some things next week, eh?
Defense can't play worse, man. Defense cannot play worse. And I actually made a video. I didn't make it public yet. It's going to be up tomorrow morning about the defense. But I mean, if I'm them, I think I play a little more conservative, like a bend but don't break, because I mean, who knows? I mean, the Buffalo Bills offensive line isn't what the Dallas Cowboys is, so maybe you get home with some of the blitzes. But if you're not getting home with the blitzes and you're leaving those corners out on an island one-on-one, they're going to get burnt all day. I don't care who's at quarterback.
Yeah, especially, yep.
You know?
I mean, you can't, and I mean, and again, man, for this guy, you can't let Cobb just stiff arm you like that.
Oh, he got destroyed. Yeah, Cobb threw him down to the ground like a ragdoll, like he was Terrell Owens.
Bro, I can tell you this. Now, some people might not like this. I can tell you this, though. I would have came back the next play, even if I would have had to tackle you just so we can get, like, you know what I'm saying, like a penalty call on us or something like that. But I would have came back and let you know it ain't going to go down like that again. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All Hamilton, I mean, it's I don't know if you ever played football, but football 101, you tackle low. He was going for his helmet. It made no sense. You go down low, you take out his knees. You would have tackled him. It's just a horrible job, horrible fundamentals on that play, and that was a huge play in the game because they got some momentum because of it.
Well, hey man, shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Everybody already know. Let's get this W next week, and I'm gonna tune back in, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being a great part of the channel.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, have a good one. I'm going to get to that super chat in a second. Odell Beckham, let me get to it real quick. Thank you so much, OBJ. I'm not too upset that you guys lost. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not rooting for Cleveland this year, but thank you for the super chat. He says Hamilton should be a McDonald's drive-thru work. Yeah, I don't even know if he'd be good at that based on how I saw him tackle on Sunday. But he should not be a football player, not for the New York Giants, that's for sure. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, bends the knees.
Bends the knees. My man, Steven Evans. Of course, he coined the famous nickname, the Moss Boss. What's going on, buddy?
The Moss Boss. What's going on, man? Listen, to be quite honest with you, I don't even know where to start. Obviously, you know, we've kept in contact since the game, man, and I'm on record as how I feel about that just debacle of a performance yesterday. That shit was absolutely embarrassing. And listen, from soup to nuts, man, you can it's dealer's choice where you want to start as it relates to how horrible a performance that was. It was just hard to watch. And listen, going in, especially for people like you, right, who are fans first, but you also try to give, the facts and unbiased, realistic opinions about what to expect for the game, right? And so your pregame analysis, was right on. But then, the closer it gets to game time, you kind of go from analyst to fan, which I appreciate about you. It's one of the reasons why your subscribers love you so much, man. But even you, I'm sure, weren't expecting a defense to look the way they did yesterday. As I told you earlier, like, listen, for me, however naive it was, right, I'm thinking, okay, in a big spot, we might blow a coverage, have a blown assignment, maybe we're not setting the edge against the run, or what have you, right? But I was not expecting for all of those things to happen all the time, all throughout the game, in addition to suspect at best defensive play calling. That was a joke. Entertainer?
Listen, man, you're preaching to the choir, and I'm a fan of Betcher. I like what Betcher did in Arizona. I like his defense. A lot of people, want the 4-3 back, and we had success with the 4-3, right? And we haven't had success with the 3-4. I attribute a lot of that to the talent, right? Your team could only go as far as your talent takes you. Nobody's a magician. Bill Belichick couldn't win with the Cleveland Browns because they had no talent. He's the best coach who ever lived. But Betcher drew up a horrible game plan yesterday. There's no excuses to be made. The defense
terrible.
The defense looked lost. It looked absolutely lost. The second, I don't know what was going on in some of those throws. That first touchdown throw, I get like you might bite on a play-action pass, but for that guy to be that open, there was like 5 defenders in front of him, like 10, 12 yards behind him. It made no sense.
Entertainer, bro, they made it seem like Dak Prescott invented the forward pass during the game and that no one had ever seen it before. Come on.
Have you ever seen, what's that one with Jackie Moon? What's the name of that movie with Will Ferrell?
Something.
Semi-Pro. You ever see that movie?
I did.
All right, there's a point in the movie where they throw the first alley-oop ever invented, and everybody's standing around because they just invented the alley-oop. That's what it felt like watching this game. They just invented the forward pass. And the Giants defense had never seen it before. They didn't know what they were looking at.
Unbelievable. And listen, I have no such affinity for Betcher, right? I feel like if his defense performs like this for many more weeks, I bet you he won't have a job next year as defensive coordinator for the goddamn New York Football Giants.
You know what? If they keep playing like this, he's not going to. I think Shurmur still got at least a year because they drafted a quarterback, and obviously Gettleman's got at least a year because he's drafted relatively well. But Betcher could be on his way out if the defense keeps playing like that. Now we gotta be patient a little bit, right? Now I didn't expect that, right? Like you said, I was honest in my approach before the game. I thought the Cowboys would win. I thought it'd be much closer, but I thought the Cowboys would win. I didn't think we were gonna get embarrassed like that on defense.
Son of a bitch!
And I expected bumps in the road because it's a young defense, right? You can't. It's like the Knicks. I know you're a huge Knicks fan. You can't expect a finished product. They're babies, right? So I expect the defense to struggle, but I didn't expect it to be that bad. That was bad. That was as bad as it gets.
I mean, come on. And then, okay, if you want the trend to continue, let's go to the other side of the ball. How in red monkey's fuck do you give Saquon Barkley 11 carries? It is. I don't care how many times you threw it to him out of the backfield. He will be wearing a gold jacket one day because of what he does running the ball, Moss boys.
And the craziest part about it, Steven Evans, the craziest part about it, he was having success. The guy averaged like 12 yards a carry, and they're not giving him the football. It made no sense. It's like the Eagles game last year. The Eagles game last year, he was running all over him and then pats it up. We don't need to use him in the second half. We got this. We got it won.
It's amazing. And fucking Shermhead, whatever his name is, right? The way he bristled at the post-game, legitimate questions from reporters about play calling. I mean, you're fucking running Penny on a fullback draw on 3rd and 1 or some shit. We're doing play action passes on 3rd and short, some nonsense. I've never seen anything like that. At least, listen, when you come in as an underdog, at least give ourselves a fighting chance to be in the game. And listen, half of that fighting chance comes from competent play calling, not whatever the fuck that was we saw yesterday. That was absolute embarrassment. And one of your previous callers said something that, honestly, I hadn't considered, and that was maybe get some of the goddamn alumni in there, some of these Carl Banks, some of these LT, some of these Chad fucking Bradskys for all I care, and talk to these people, talk to this defensive side of the ball about how to show up and play like a goddamn New York football fucking Giant. Absolutely embarrassing.
And it's been a long time since we've had that. Somebody brought up Justin Tuck. Justin Tucker was like 35, 36, but it's been a long time. We have not seen 2016. We had a good defense that year, but outside of that, you got to go back 4 or 5 years before that. I mean, this team, we really have had bad Giants football since our second Super Bowl with Eli. Since then, 2012 to now, we've had bad football with one year sprinkled in.
It is unbelievable. And listen, if I hear, just like in one of your uploads earlier, if I hear one more of these so-called content creators, right, who claim to be Giants fans, laying everything at the feet of Eli. Listen, Eli is not some world beater these days. He's our quarterback. He's our guy. He always will be. Once he retires, like magic, he will become the best quarterback who has ever lived, right? But right now, whatever the fuck goes wrong, everything is not Eli's fault. Like you said, if somebody would have told us before the game that Eli was going to toss a touchdown, no picks, have over 300 yards, we would have tripped up and down a flight of stairs.
Where's the pen? Where's the pen? Where do I sign for that? 300 yards, no picks against the Dallas Cowboys defense? Are you kidding me? Sign me up. I'm doing it right now. Right now.
Come on. It's just amazing. So, listen, moving forward, I'm hoping that we can rebound. But I got to tell you, there's got to be some ownership. There's got to be some pride. We've got to stop playing prevent defense from the first snap of the game. It's like we were in a soft dime throughout the whole goddamn game. It made no sense. I've never seen anybody have those kind of windows to throw into. There wasn't anybody within 2, 3, 4, 5 yards of every receiver every time that that drop back to pass. It's fucking amazing.
Mr. Evans.
It's amazing.
Mr. Evans, it looked like it was 7-on-7 drills. It looked like it was training camp for them. That's what it looked like. I felt like I was watching training camp.
Come on. And listen, it is embarrassing. How do you go an entire NFL football game and you don't put your hands on the opposing fucking quarterback? Fucking backing with his same jersey next week because he didn't touch the fucking ground. He did not touch the ground.
Dallas doesn't need to launder their jerseys. You're absolutely right. Dak didn't get touched the entire game, and they were sending 6 guys. It seemed every play, and they couldn't get it. They couldn't get even close.
And that's what I'm saying. God damn it, Moss Voss, you son of a bitch. That's what I'm saying because fucking Betcher, at some point, if you are worth your salt as a coach or a DC, right, you will see that whatever the fuck the scheme was, whatever the game plan was coming into the game, it's not getting it done. Maybe we'll switch up a look here or there. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. He had names out there who I had never heard before. The first round pick
Hamilton? Who the hell's Hamilton? Who's Hamilton, Evans?
Who is? I think he's a fucking insurance.
I think he's
never heard of this guy.
I think he's in my chat. I think they got this guy off the street. He's not a football player.
Unbelievable. And fucking DeAndre Baker, Christ almighty, I understand he's a rookie. He's what the fuck ever. He got cooked. He got roasted up and down the goddamn field. And the man looked like he was slow as shit. And how the fuck do you get shoelaces tied up with... Did you see that play with fucking Ogletree and another no-name son of a bitch got fucking volleyed up together? And
when they got the shoes tied together. When they got the shoes tied together?
You cannot make this shit up. I gotta calm down before I give myself some sort of a connection.
Yeah, I think you gotta, Mr. Evans, I think you gotta go and get a massage. You gotta calm down.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you something before I let you go. It is times like this, right? And I've said it before. It is times like this, both with my Knicks and my Giants, which is why I cannot stand bandwagon fans. Because they are not living and dying with every snap of the ball. They're not noticing what we notice. They don't care the way we care. But like magic, they find their way out of the woodwork when we start to kick up again and actually play some decent fucking football or basketball. And for that, I have no respect for these people.
Oh, you know as well as I do. When the Giants are good, these chat rooms, you're gonna have triple the amount of people because all of a sudden everybody's a Giants fan, everybody's a Knicks fan, everybody's a Mets fan. When they're playing good, the people shows up. When they're playing bad, that's when you find out who the real fans are.
Unbelievable. And listen, one suggestion too. When you guys call the game, right? You guys do a wonderful job. I love how anytime a big play happens, you go straight from calling the play to flipping the fuck out. So never change Moss Boss. We do love that. But listen, for those of us who keep track of all of our players, just give us kind of a running commentary on what some of the people who we want to see stuff from throughout the season, X-Men, the big guy down there in the middle, our rookies, or just give us a running commentary every quarter or so about what our rookies are doing, what they aren't doing, how many times his name has been called or not called. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe give you a stat line, see how Dexter Lawrence is doing, guys like that, and how they're playing the game. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely do that.
Got you. And listen, man, as always, thank you for the call. Ben's the needs is the gang. Moss is the boss. I appreciate you, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
I love this guy. All right, Mr. Evans, thank you for the call, buddy.
Later, bro.
Have a good one. Unbelievable. The passion behind Evans. Mr. Evans brought the heat. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Hello. All right, you're gone. Next caller. I think we got Gabe on the line. What's going on, Gabe? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Tain? Oh, man. Well.
Another tough year. The year's not over yet, but a tough start to the year. That we could say that.
Yeah.
Tough start.
All right. Where do we start? Where do we begin? Oh, that defense. DeAndre Baker, Tay Davis, disappointing. Alec Ogletree. Why was Antoine Bethea on coverage with Amari Cooper? Why?
It was crazy.
Why is 170-year-old Antoine Bethea on coverage with Amari Cooper, one of the top wide receivers in the league? What is Betcher doing? Assigning just...
I'll tell you, I was looking back at the replay of the game. Dallas put a lot of guys in motion, and the Giants' defense just looked lost. They had 3 or 4 different motions with certain plays with this new offense that they got that the Cowboy fans are, going crazy about. They think they're going to win the Super Bowl because they got this new or exotic offense. And they had a lot of pre-snap motions, and it caused mismatches with the defense because the Giants defense didn't know what the hell hit them.
And it's how bad our defense was. We made Dak Prescott look good. We made Prescott look like a top quarterback in this league.
Dak Prescott yesterday looked like the best quarterback in football. He had a perfect QB rating. He threw 4 touchdowns, over 400 yards. And I had a guy in my comments today. And whatever. I always click every comment. I don't always have time to respond because sometimes I'm making 4 videos in a day. But I had a guy in my comments today. He said, we can't stand Eli Manning because he's a game manager. And I said, you know what? He is a game manager, right? Wow. But look around the league. Everybody's a game manager. You just had a game manager throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns on your defense. Dak Prescott's a game manager, and he tore our defense up.
Yeah, it's really sad. And on the topic of Eli, let me just say right now, if you put all this blame on Eli, you're just a complete clown. Get yourself to the Circus Soleil. Because how can you put this on Eli? He played like great football. Honestly, this is the best Eli I've seen in years. He's actually hitting passes on target, yet people are calling for Eli when it's actually the defense that's playing so bad. And just, it's mind-boggling. You have Jason Garrett over there clapping it up over there. Like, great job, guys. And Zeke doing that little celebration. I hate that celebration. Even when Snacks did it, that's got to be the worst celebration in football.
Oh, the golf clap? The golf clap? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
No, but that Zeke celebration.
Oh, when he's feeding himself with the spoon.
Bowl of soup, eating a bowl of something. Yeah, you should change that to the crying face where he's wiping tears off. What a crybaby, man! I want my money. I want this. You have 2 years left on your contract. Yeah, you want to be the highest paid back in football. You're not even the best. Barkley's the best all-around back in the league.
Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close. Anybody that's not wearing cowboy sunglasses on that watched that game yesterday, if you still think that Ezekiel Elliott's great, but if you still think Ezekiel Elliott is a better football player than Saquon Barkley, you should go to the doctor and get your vision looked at because they're not even close. They're not even close. I'm sorry. And no running back is. It's not just Zeke. Dave Gettleman, one thing he said that was 100% on point. When we drafted this guy, he said that Saquon Barkley was touched by the hand of God, and he was spot on because he is. I mean, that guy is beyond special. Beyond special.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, the thing with Zeke is that he didn't get 1 first down against our defense. And the really sad part, man, is that Barkley, he had 11 touches, which is inexcusable. I can't believe Shurmur and Shula would actually design the offense in a way, just like the Eagles game last year. They did not. Barkley was dominating. He literally gave us the lead. He gave us, aside from Eli, it was all Barkley destroying. I was jumping up and down from the couch when Barkley had that 50-something yard run. Me and my dad, we were like clapping, like, yeah, let's go. And then he literally put this team on his back, and you really granted that with 11 carries left.
11 carries. And for the first time, Gabe, first time I've ever seen it, he showed frustration, and he had every right to be frustrated.
It's this man is. I really hope we don't waste his talent, man. I hope he's not another Barry Sanders for the Lions, like for us. I really hope not, because he is. I was saying it the other day. I thank Christ for Barkley, because this guy, he's a once in a lifetime talent.
He's a once in a lifetime talent. He is. But we gotta hope as Giants fans they don't waste it. We gotta hope they can build the defense. The offensive line looks like it's being rectified, but they gotta build that defense.
Right. Our old line also. I was actually really impressed. That's why, though, at the same time, I'm not really too worried going into Buffalo next week, because the thing with Buffalo, right? Josh Allen, I mean, he's just so inconsistent. Honestly,
no, he is. But I do work. You know the history of the Giants. I know you're a big Giant fan. Giants historically, and especially with this defense, they struggle with mobile quarterbacks. They always have. And Josh Allen scares the hell out of me with his legs. And he's got a strong arm, but it's not accurate. John Brown's a burner, though. He's the type of guy that can take the top off of defense. I could see them giving us trouble. The Bills' strength, though, is on the other side of the football. They're a great defense. But I think the Giants go toe-to-toe to them with them on that side of the ball.
I think we could actually win that football game. Honestly,
we should. We're at home, but the Bills are.
Yeah, we're at home. The Bills are meh at best. We honestly, man, we were like, I was so excited, man. I was watching the offense towards the beginning of the game. I'm like, wow, we actually look better without Odell. But not only does the play calling suck, but just our defense can't even help us. Like, we get no help. Shurmur is literally like, I don't even know what he's doing. He's putting too much faith in Eli. As good as Eli played, at this point, you cannot put as much faith in. This is not 2011, where he can literally put the team on his back even with no running game. We have a running game now. We can put the hands to our back. And though our offensive line is not as good as it was in our Super Bowl runs, it's still actually pretty good, and it has potential to get better over especially next season, where I think we have all that cap space. We can be a very competitive football team. All our rookies will be second year. We'll get some free agents, and we should, get a couple of stud rookies in the draft, because so far Gettleman has really looked impressive drafting, which as a Giants fan was a relief, because Jerry Reese was a disaster, a complete disaster at drafting.
Oh God, Jerry's for years was horrible at drafting, and that's why we're in the hole we're in. But the offensive line was improved yesterday. That's the one thing you tip your cap on, right? The offensive line was strong. The running game was strong when we used it. But the defense we're the worst defense in football right now. That's how bad the defense looked yesterday.
Easily.
And hopefully we can improve. Hopefully.
That's not saying much.
Yeah, you're not going to win a lot of football games when your defense plays like that.
Yeah, but I also know this one thing about Shurmur is, though he makes mind-boggling decisions, he is that coach that, like, he's not like McAdoo, where if he makes you like question like logic completely, he's not going to blame or blame one person. Like, remember McAdoo blamed Eli and stuff for all his bad coaching and bad playing. Like, he doesn't do that. Shurmur, he actually not only will he probably take responsibility, but he'll actually motivate this team. I know this team for like all the way through. It has heart. Like, you could tell this team has heart. Now, yes, having heart does not translate to winning football games, but it certainly helps.
Yeah.
If you have that winning mentality and that drive to want to win, prove all the media and all the haters, because I know Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, they're probably going off on the Giants right now, calling the Giants, a bad organization. We're going for. Honestly, we're going in the right direction. Even with it looks bad now, but trust me, Giants fans, we're going in the right direction. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be pain, but trust me, one more year, we'll be there. We'll be there.
We're going in the right direction. The direction may take a little longer than we want, but we are going in the right direction. We're building the team the right way, which is through the draft and building up that offensive line. Now the offensive line, you're going to have to continue to draft, right? Because Nate Solder's not a spring chicken. Zeitler's not a spring chicken. They're going to have to get younger, talented players in that offensive line. And they could sign one. They could definitely sign like a Conklin in free agency. He's like 25, 26. But they're going to have to beef up that offensive line, continue to build through that. That's where football is won, and they have to improve that defense. The defense is going to get better. There's so many young players. They're going to get better over time, and I'm sure they're going to bring in a couple of veterans next year, but it's going to take time.
We're probably going to get some pass rushers in the draft.
Yeah, it's going to take time, though. It's not going to happen overnight.
Obviously, we shouldn't be thinking about the draft already, because the season's definitely not lost. Honestly, the Giants could really, it's as optimistic as it might sound, we can still make a run for at least maybe second place in the East. That's not even wild card or anything, but maybe 7 and 9, 8 and 8. It's still very possible, guys. And
looking at it from a glass half full approach. This is a game everybody thought we were going to lose. So it's not like we lost the game we were supposed to win. If you want to look at it that way, it's not so much that we lost, it's how we lost. I mean, it was as bad as it gets. So if they don't improve a lot of things, we're going to know this week. We're going to know this week. We got a game at home, a game that a lot of us thought we could potentially win before the year started. They better win it. They better win it.
But a lot of things has changed since schedules came out. Bills improved. Giants improved on paper somewhat. And it's crazy though because on technically on paper our defense got better. Knowing like who we had last year, we had BWM and Curtis Riley out there, like for crying out, like that's horrible. But now it looks better on paper, but we're actually not. We're actually worse. So far, it seems like we're actually worse, and I'm not surprised because obviously,
I expect them to be worse to start the year. It's kind of like they knocked down a house and they're starting from scratch. They got rid of all the older veterans, and when you replace guys that know what they're doing, that have been here before, with guys that have never played, it's going to take time for them to learn the game. I made a video on this, and I'm going to bring it out tomorrow about the Giants defense, but think of it like when you first start a job or when you go to school for the first day. Like when I first started my job, I went to training for like 4 months, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing when they threw me out in the field. Exactly. And it's the same thing with football. Until you get put in situations and you fail and you do poorly, you're not going to improve. You have to fail to succeed. And we're gonna have to accept that and let them grow as they play on the football field. Yeah.
DeAndre Baker, man, I think he really will become a great football player one day. He'll be a great. You can screen record this right now, everyone in the chat, because I'm gonna look like a predicting god when you hear this. DeAndre Baker, a god. DeAndre Baker, he's gonna be honestly a great corner. Who knows? Maybe top 10 one day. One day
he could be. He definitely could be. He's a rookie.
The thing he needs to improve on, his coverage, honestly, for someone who was going out and covering Amari Cooper, who's at least a top 5 receiver in this league, and Michael Gallup, who was actually really impressive in his rookie year, you can't really. He was actually decent. The thing with him was that those few times he got burnt, he was screwed because even in college it was this way. He has no speed. Like, he is not like a Greedy Williams.
He's a physical corner.
Yeah, he's not like a Greedy Williams or a Byron Murphy. He doesn't have like that speed of like almost like a wide receiver. He's just a coverage guy.
Yeah.
He's and I've noticed that's what the Giants have been doing. We've been removing a lot of speedy guys and tackling guys, like for example Landon Collins. B.W. Webb was a tackler. Those guys were tacklers, but they weren't really good in coverage. It's kind of like almost we're shifting away from that coverage and going into more like shifting away from that speed and tackling part and then go into coverage more, because you have Jabril Peppers, who's actually pretty good in coverage.
I'll tell you, if they tried to improve their coverage in this offseason, it didn't show yesterday.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
It didn't show.
Yeah,
it didn't show. But this is a young team.
No, I agree. They're gonna have their bumps.
Janoris, he was covering those times he was covering Amari. Amari was like being locked down. It was almost like I was watching Janoris versus Dez, like a couple, all those years ago. Whenever when Dez was actually still in the league. I don't even know if he's even in the league anymore. But,
no, he's not.
Yeah, that poor guy, man. He's only one of the few Cowboys I actually feel bad for because he got injured. Right? He could have honestly. If I'm saying this right now, if he signed with the Saints would have won the Super Bowl. They would have gone to the Super Bowl and they would have won, because that honestly, they wouldn't. That means that Breeze honestly wouldn't have thrown to Kamara so much, because in that Rams game, I know they were throwing to Kamara so much that it was almost like watching Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey. You know how Cam always throws to McCaffrey. It's crazy how. If he just had more receivers, the Saints would easily be my pick for the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's their one weakness. They, other than Thomas, they don't really have a talented receiver. But I gotta let you go. I got like a couple people calling in. But Gabe, man, thank you so much for the call. Thank you for being a great subscriber, buddy.
Anytime, man. You're a great YouTuber. Just keep doing your thing. Very entertaining stuff. The entertainer. Your name serves you right, man.
All right, Gabe.
Name serves you right.
Thank you for the call, buddy. Thank you for the call. Have a good one. All right. Next call. Thank you for calling in.
Yo.
What is going on? Who's this?
Alex Sports.
Alex Sports. If you guys have not done so, go on over to Alex Sports. Check out his channel. Giant YouTuber, up and comer. Man, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
What's up?
So, anyways, before I talk about that game, you hear about Sterling Shepard? He went into concussion protocol.
Yeah, I just made a video on that a couple hours ago. Yeah, he's gonna be missing probably gonna be missing this game. We won't know, and hopefully it's not any more than one game. And if that's not good. as thin as we already are at that position.
Yeah, that's just all we need. I mean, come on, Shepard just cannot stay healthy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good at all. If he's out, then we're not going to have a number one receiver. It's not going to be good.
We don't have a number one receiver to begin with. I don't think he's a number one receiver. I think he's a number two. Number two. Yeah, but I mean, he's the one on this team. But with him out, I guess Russell Shepard will start from what I read, and it's not good, man. We're already thin to begin with. We already lack playmakers at that position to begin with. Our two best playmakers are Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley, and yeah, it's not good. And especially coming off a poor performance like we did. We need as many healthy guys as we could get. And not good news.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to talk about this game. The opening drive was very good. The Barkley broke out like a 60-yard run. Everybody's happy at that point. They scored a touchdown. And then the next drive, they mess up. They lose all momentum after that. It was a 3rd and 1. I don't know. Everyone's like, you should have ran it there. They should have ran it. It's so stupid. I don't know why they don't run it with Barkley. It's just it makes no sense. Everybody knows this.
Yeah, the 3rd and 1, the 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, whatever it was you run it with your fullback. Pat Shurmur got way too cute in this game. He overthunk things. That's what happened. He overthunk it, and sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. And when you got Saquon Barkley back there, and you need 2 yards in 2 plays, you give it to Saquon Barkley.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, after that, we lost everything. We lost all our momentum. Our offense was moving pretty good from that point, but after that, it was done. Our defense just gave up, 4 straight scoring drives. It was, going all downhill from there. Our offense could not really move the ball efficiently. It was moving, but it couldn't sustain the drives. And so, it made it near the end zone, but it just could not, get it into the end zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bad game. Our defense really sucks. We also, I don't know if you know this, but the Giants actually claimed a defender from the Pittsburgh Steelers today.
I made a video on that as well, actually. I thought that was a good pickup. That's a guy with high upside. And a lot of Steelers fans really liked him. They were upset that there was some kind of, actually Marjorie Simmons, who's in the chat, she was the one who put me onto that. And there was some reason why they released him, but they didn't want to, and they had to. And the Giants were able to claim him because of it. And he's a guy with a lot of upside, potentially. He had 5 sacks in the preseason.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Is he going to get a starting job, you think?
No. But maybe over time, you never know. But no, not right now. No, they're still going to go with the veterans they got over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's game was just terrible. We made Dak look so good. I mean, all the receivers were wide open. If you watch the film, you'll see all the receivers were wide open.
I don't need to watch the film. I watched the game. This game doesn't even require film breakdown. They were so open. Mm-hmm. I mean, on some of those plays, there's not guys within 10 yards. It was crazy.
It's just terrible. I mean, the first touchdown they scored, it's like all our linebackers are dropping inside, and the tight end or whoever the guy was, ran right up the field. Simple as that.
Yeah.
They didn't even go back to cover the guy. It was so poor. I just don't know what I'm watching.
You're watching You're watching a young, inexperienced defense. That's what you're watching.
Young and they're growing, but I'm just a kid. I mean, they got to fix it right now on the fly.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. Hopefully, you never know. I said in one of my videos today, I don't remember which one, but the 2007 defense, they looked horrible the first 2 weeks too under Spagnuolo. The difference is that defense had Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, Osi Umenyiora. Mm. This defense doesn't have that. So I don't expect them to turn it around like that. I think this is going to take maybe even the full season. It might, hopefully not, but it's going to take some time.
Yeah, it's probably going to take so long. We don't have any like superstar defenders, which sucks. We can't get to the quarterback, which stinks.
Yeah.
We got to sack the quarterback. We can't even get to it. We need a pass rusher. We might need to get one in free agency if we can, or even look at one in the draft perhaps. Because this cannot go on. We need to look at. We got to really upgrade this defense for next year. This is not.
Oh yeah, well they will. They're going to add some guys in free agency. They got a ton of money to spend. I'm sure they'll draft some early in the draft, but it's not going to. Like I said, it's not just going to happen like that. It's going to take time. It's going to take 2 more years probably for this to be a finished product. And we got to accept that as Giants fans. You know, you got to accept the process, because hopefully by the time they build it up, they'll have sustained success for 5 or 6 years.
Hopefully.
You know, because with Eli they did. A lot of people forget that. Eli came in 04, 05 they made the playoffs, 06 they made the playoffs, 07 they won the Super Bowl, 08 they made the playoffs, right? So they were competitive in 09, 10, they win the Super Bowl in 11. So really from 2005 to 2011, the Giants were a very good football team. And you know, and then obviously the second half, the bad draft picks, the offensive line, it wore down, you know, but for a good 6-7 years, and hopefully they get back that. Hopefully they give us a good 6-7 years. You know?
Yeah, like bad drafts by Jerry Reese. Bad drafts.
Yeah. But anything else, buddy, before I let you go?
I just want to say like one thing. Pat Shurmur, I don't know what he's thinking not running Barkley. He only got 11 carries for over 120 yards. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, that's the biggest complaint for this game. That's the biggest complaint for this game. Is you got the best running back on the planet. You only give him 11 carries. You're not going to win many games when you do that.
I can rant about that all day. I don't know why you don't give him at least 20 carries. It makes no sense.
It's inexcusable.
Yeah, no sense. All right,
buddy. But once again, thank you for calling in, buddy. If you guys have not done so, please check out Alex Sports. Thank you for the call, my man.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good one. Next call, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, what's up, entertainer? This is Charlie.
What is going on, Charlie? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I want to talk about DeAndre Baker.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. What's up?
I just felt like he was used wrong. I wanted to get your take on it.
Well, I didn't get to watch the game film yet, but from what I saw, you know, when I watched the game just like you did, it seemed as if they left him out on an island for the most part. They didn't have a lot of help over the top. A lot of, because they blitzed. They were sending 5-6 guys most plays.
They did a few, and I was fine with that. I mean, it didn't seem like they were jamming an awful lot when...
Yeah, well, they were playing some zone
on the island, which is kind of more his game.
Yeah, well, that's what he's known for is pressing the guy up at the line of scrimmage. He didn't have a good game. I mean, the whole secondary didn't. But I
didn't expect him to have a good game. I just kind of felt like he was back, sitting off.
Yeah, and I think the motions...
10, 12 yards, and that kind of doesn't give you a chance to compete in some of the plays. Really, all Dallas would do is run 5 yards stops.
That's what they did, the whole game.
And that's it. They're going to move it up the field.
I agree with you. He's got to be in press coverage. That's what he's known for. And I don't think he's ready to not have help. And I think the Giants left him out. I mean, that touch, what was it to... who was he guarding on that play on the touchdown where he got beat? Was that Gallup?
I believe one of them was Gallup. I think Cooper got burned him for one.
Maybe it was Cooper. But
they both got him.
Yeah, he got absolutely destroyed on that play. But I expect him to get killed, right? He's a rookie. And it's not going to happen. And cornerback is one of the toughest positions to transition into the NFL.
I mean, I just feel like the coaches can at least put him in a situation.
Oh, they did a horrible job. The coach, both coaches, Betcher and Shepard, did a horrible job.
The two zone calls there, they're wide open touchdowns. That's just horrible. You're a veteran defensive coordinator. You can't allow that to happen.
Well, no, he did. Betcher had all year to prepare for this game, and it looked as if he kind of just drew up a game plan the night before the game. There was no organization. There was no clear game plan for this game, and I can't put the full blame on him because when you tell people to blitz and they're not getting home, you can't really blame that on the DC. You don't have the talent. You know, you're going up against the best offensive line. You don't have a lot of talent on defense, and it's
a good. I felt like, I mean, you can see they got a fullback and extra tight end, so then you bring the full on blitz. It kind of didn't.
Yeah.
Some of the blitzes, the timing didn't make sense to me either.
You're right.
The downs, the yardages.
I mean, the Giants look lost, period. And
everything was horrible.
Yeah, and all the pre-snap shifts, the Giants, when you go back and look at some of the highlights, the pre-snap shifts, you could see the Giants were getting completely confused. And, they're an inexperienced defense. You expect that. But Betcher did not have a good performance. And a lot of Giants fans are going to be calling for his head if this doesn't improve real quick.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to game plan like that. He's going to be gone real quick.
Yeah.
Another thing I was concerned, I mean, I know Dallas is a good line, but Dexter, I wasn't seeing much of a push. It's not a problem during the regular season, but when you get to the playoffs, you're going to be facing good offensive lines.
Yeah.
And if he's not getting pushed, I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to ship Tomlinson out and then put Dexter in there at our DT? That wasn't supposed to be the plan, and that's what we were told. And
yeah, well,
I don't want to jump the gun. It's only one game. But.
Yeah, well, we were getting no push up front. The only positive I could say, and there's not much on the defense, they were pretty good against the run. I didn't look at the stat sheet after the game, but it didn't seem like Zeke broke off many big runs or Pollard. So from that aspect,
no, they were stout in the middle. But I mean, that's to be expected. Look at the size of them.
Yeah,
guys.
From that aspect, they were pretty solid, especially going against that offensive line and the running back. But that offensive line, in terms of pass protection, we didn't stand a chance that entire game.
No,
it was
well,
just a
complete 10 yards off. And they're backpedaling out of a 10 yards a cushion.
Yeah, and they made Dak look like Tom Brady. They really did. That's how bad.
That's what they played. They played like how we used to play against Peyton and back when he used to play. Horrible off coverage zone. It's horrible.
I don't know what the answer is.
We were supposed to get when Betcher came in here. We were supposed to get an attacking defense.
I don't know what the defense. I don't know what the answer is, because when they tried to attack, they got nowhere, and when they didn't attack, they just they hit us over the middle. So
I get it. I just felt like when he blitzed, it was the worst times. They had extra tight ends and fullbacks. It was the worst time to blitz where they can pick everybody up.
No, you're right. I just think we were doomed to lose that game no matter what, because our defense is not ready for an offense like that. We're just not. Their offensive line is way too strong, and they have weapons, and we were never beating that team unless we created some turnovers and some fluky things.
And I know he's always been sorry, Hamilton.
No, go ahead,
Tony Hamilton's always been a special teams guy, but have you ever seen him play defense at all?
He had no business being in that game. None whatsoever. And that attempted tackle when he went high up on the helmet, that was ridiculous. He's completely lost out there. It made no sense whatsoever why he was in the game. I didn't get it.
I just think when they seen we were getting manhandled out there, we could at least got Ballantyne in there for some playing time.
Ballantyne should have been out there. I didn't want to see Hamilton out there. Ballantyne's earned that spot. No. I don't know. Hopefully it changes. I don't think after the way he played, I'd be surprised if Hamilton plays next game. I'd be surprised.
I've got about all my gripes out. The last thing is Lorenzo Carter. He was out in coverage half the damn first half. I didn't quite understand that either.
You and me both, man.
And the sad part is he seems like he's a better coverage linebacker than all our guys that are supposed to be coverage linebackers. He's supposed to be our best passer.
Yeah, you're right. Tay Davis didn't look that good either in coverage. Conley had a nice play. He was pretty good from what I saw. He didn't play that much, but when Conley was in it seemed as if he was pretty good. But not a lot of good individuals. I mean, I can't say anything good about anybody on the defense. It was so bad. It was so bad. There's nobody to say anything good about.
Pretty disturbing.
Yeah, other than maybe the upfront run defense. That's the only thing I could point to that was okay.
That's nice. But if you're not getting any pressure from, I mean, what good is it?
Yeah, it's not.
At least some pressure once in a while we need to get from them.
You're not going to win many football games with the defense the way they played on Sunday. Bottom line, and hopefully a weaker opponent, the Buffalo Bills. They don't have the best offensive line. It's improved, but it's still not a good one.
I think they're going to kick our ass, too. I hate to say it.
I tend to agree with you right now. I mean, we got a chance, but not if the defense plays like that. They got to play
the whole game on offense, I was literally just screaming, running the ball every play.
It's common sense, man. It's common sense. You have the best player in football, and you don't run it with him. Shurmur, I don't get Shurmur sometimes, because sometimes I'll watch the game, and I'll be like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing.
Right.
And then there'll be another game where you're like, this guy can't, he doesn't know football. So
he'll call a drive because defense on their heels, not knowing what's coming, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 right up the field, and then
the first drive looked perfect.
I think at one point he threw like 10 straight times. Like, I mean, I understand you pass to get the running game going, but you got to run sooner or eventually. You got to run.
Yeah. The first drive, they looked perfect, and then after that, they looked lost on both sides of the ball in terms of play calling. The offense moved the ball, but Shurmur's play calling was suspect.
Barkley's ripping 60-yard runs, making them look.
Yeah, well, that makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. That's for sure. But even the play action rollout, the bootleg, it just looked crisp on that first drive. And that's what this offense relies around. They need the threat of the run with Saquon Barkley. And when you don't use it, you're not gonna hit many big plays.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
But I'm
well,
gonna let
I
you
got
go.
all my frustrations out there.
No, that's what this is for.
First time caller. I was happy talking to you.
Yeah, man, definitely. I look forward to talking to you next time.
All right, man. Hey, have a good night.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call. All right. Have a good night, Trisha. Next call, you're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, man, you hear me, brother?
I hear you.
It's Rudy the Gamer, bro. What's up, man?
What's going on, Rudy? How you been, buddy?
Hey, buddy, man. I've been posting similar videos like you have today, but look, man, I'm not gonna repeat the same bullshit that everybody else has been talking about. We get it, we got it. Hamilton needs to be fucking swimming with the fish, bro. Sorry for cursing, man. That fucking meat sucker, bro. That dude is hot garbage, man. I you would figure after he got burned so many times, man, and he got muscled by Randall Cobb, who is not a big guy. Got muscled by that dude with one arm stiff. I mean, they should have just said to themselves, hey, man, dude, you need to get the hell out, dude. It's time to put Valentine in there, man. Jesus Christ, bro. Fucking Pat Shurmur and Betcher, man, they need to do something, man, because if they start that guy again next week, it's going to be a long day again, man.
He made him look like Terrell Owens. Man, the way he was able to throw him down on the – you're talking about a slot wide receiver in Randall Cobb. I mean, I said it, earlier, football 101. You never tackle high up. You go for the legs. And
of course.
This guy, he looked lost out there. I don't know why. That's on Betcher and Shurmur. I don't know why that guy's even on the football field.
Yeah, brother. I mean, that statistic you were talking about, which I'm also going to put up a video on tomorrow on the defense as well, is 30 attempts for 89 yards. That's pretty good. I said the whole game that the rush defense was phenomenal. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. So, I mean, he carries then Saquon Barkley, man, he had 13 carries, 53 yards, and whatever douche McNuggets over there, what's his name, Pollard, however many carries he had it for like 35 yards. So the rush defense played great.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, you're 34 and I'm 36. We can go fucking suit up and play fucking free safety and corner yesterday. Could have come way better than that.
Let me ask you this. If I would have told you before the game, we're going to hold them, I don't know what you said they had 90 yards rushing as a team?
89, yeah.
If I would have told you we're going to hold them to 89 yards rushing and Eli's going to throw for over 300 yards and not turn the ball over, you probably would have thought we were going to win that game, right?
Oh, dude, and of course I'm going to believe you, and I'm with you on that because you and I are one of the two guys in a few that have high hopes for Eli Manning. Yeah, I believe you, and I say hell yeah.
Yeah, and they lost because of two reasons why they lost. Obviously, the pass protection and the play calling. Pat Shurmur on third and shorts, the play calling was awful. And, of course, that's going to hurt your defense, too, because when you're not converting on third down, they were 2 of 12. When you're not converting on third down, that's going to wear down your defense because you're going to get killed in the time of possession. They couldn't extend drives. And that goes on Shurmur. A lot of those, there was at least 2, maybe 3 third downs that with a better play call, I think they would have picked up.
For sure. Pat Shurmur has a vagina, bro. That dude saw how we came in. The defense held well for a series. We come in and freaking explode. And look, man, it's okay. Hey, Saquon Barkley, welcome to the NFL for your second year. Just to let you know, this is football. Fumble got recovered, not a problem. You go down and run for 59 yards in the next play. I see you and Bad Dog freaking screaming and jumping in the air, and I'm freaking screaming and jumping in the air, and I break another PS4 remote because I'm freaking pumped. And I'm pumped up, dude. I'm over there pumped like, yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the probability was the Giants had a 28% chance of beating the Cowboys. If Saquon Barkley rushes for over 100 yards and he's in the game and they're giving him the ball, it goes up to 54% is what Pro Focus Football was saying. The probability goes up to 54%. I mean, we had the time of possession. It was great. But what I'm saying is, first series, we go down there, we manhandle them, and we score. All of a sudden, here comes Dak Prescott. I mean, dude, you made that guy look That dude is garbage, man. The best stats I've seen that he ever did was last year against us, where he threw for like 387 yards.
You saw the best stats yesterday against us. So the last 2 games he's played against us have been his career games. But another thing I want to say, I get it at the beginning of the game, right? The Giants' mindset is stuff the run because that's the Cowboys' bread and butter, right? But you have to make adjustments. They made no adjustments. I mean, the Cowboys just kept doing the same thing over and over and over, and they made no adjustments.
None. Yeah. Look at you talked about the time of possession. I was just like, dude, we killed them on the time of possession. The thing was, first series, we go down there and score. All of a sudden, dude, it's like, I mean, the guy, Dak Prescott was throwing syrup to waffles, bro. We look like waffles out there, dude. Just hanging around, wide open in the middle. And the thing is, when they go down there and they answer right back and they score, that was it. We got away from the run.
Yeah. Well, we got away from the run.
Got away from the run on the second series when we had the ball. Unbelievable.
If we would have ran the ball like we should have, that would have been a much closer game because they were not stopping Saquon Barkley. They just weren't. And if he would have got 8, 9, 10 more carries, we would have been much closer in that game because the defense wouldn't have been on the field as long and the offense would have been having longer drives. And Giants, it would have been a much more competitive game had they called it better. We weren't winning no matter what because that defense was not stopping that Cowboys offense. But
we still left points out there. It
would have been a much closer game. Yeah, would have been a much closer game.
It would have been a lot of a closer game. I mean, hey, there's nothing to say, man. Everybody needs to shut the hell up, man. Yeah. Eli Manning, I mean, dude, he had me so pumped when he broke away from that tackle, man, and he spun around. And then old vintage 2007 Super Bowl Eli getting away from the tackle. I mean, dude, and he threw a bullet of 36 yards to freaking Cody Latimer, man. I was just like, holy shit, man.
Eli still, I mean, I'm not saying he's not, I'm not saying he's what he was 8 years ago, but he's still got enough left in the tank to be a good quarterback.
For sure. And I feel sad, man. I feel sad. Like, me and you talked about, hey, man, we don't want him to go anywhere, but Jesus Christ, give him a chance to win because he still has a lot left in the tank. Jaguars, please take Eli because I know he's in good hands with Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wanted here anymore. I mean, at the end of the day, more than half the Giants fan base wants him gone, or at least it seems that way.
For sure.
And
it was like that yesterday in your chat, in your live stream, man. And people are talking shit. So go, Eli, put Daniel Jones. What the hell are you talking about, dude? The guy's playing great. What difference would it make Daniel Jones going in? Why? Because you want him to play?
Listen, man, I agree. I think people just want to see a change. I think when people get frustrated with a team, right, and they, obviously they're frustrated. We're frustrated. The team's been horrible for, X amount of years. And when people get frustrated with a team, they just want somebody to blame. And Eli's the easy target. He's the quarterback.
Yeah.
And they say, we want to change. We drafted a quarterback. Get him out. And anytime anything goes wrong, whether it's his fault or not.
You see the tape out there, man.
Eli played good yesterday. When Eli plays bad this year, I'll say it. But yesterday, Eli played good. But fans are going to go at him no matter what because he's an easy target. People are frustrated. When people are frustrated, they look for a scapegoat. And Eli's going to be that scapegoat until they put Daniel Jones in there. And when Daniel Jones goes in there, they'll start blaming him. It's the New York fan base. They're impatient, and they want to win at all times. And that it comes with the territory, unfortunately.
Forbid, wait till he throws that first interception, dude. Just wait.
Yeah.
See how much people are going to be talking shit then.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Listen, you go back, we're around the same age. I go back, I remember, the crappy quarterbacks before Eli Manning. Obviously we had a nice spell there with Kerry Collins, but I remember, what it was like before then with Cannell and, everybody else. And that's why I think we appreciate Eli as much as we do. For that younger generation that maybe saw Eli Manning for the last 6-7 years of his career, they don't recognize what it's like to go through quarterback hell. And it's not easy to be a franchise quarterback. Most quarterbacks that are drafted are not. And I think a lot of fans take that for granted, that this guy was here. We knew he was going to line up every year for 16 years, and they just expect Daniel Jones to be that guy. It might not work out. There's no guy. I don't care what he did in the preseason. But I know we got to see him. We drafted him. We got to see him. And when this team plays bad, we're going to. And, that's just the reality of it. But, Eli was not to blame for that game yesterday. Just wasn't.
It wasn't at all.
Yeah.
So real quick, Bill see our tape. What happens next week?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. The Bills' offensive line is not near what Dallas's is. So Maybe we'll have a little more success there getting after the quarterback. Bills have a very good defense. It's probably on par with the Dallas Cowboys. It's very good. It was top 5 last year. So we're not going to put up a ton of points on them. Josh Allen, not the most accurate quarterback. Maybe the Giants could do something. They create a couple of turnovers. I could see us creating a couple of turnovers in this game. I mean, they turned it over 4 times against the Jets. So I could see the Giants creating a couple of turnovers. If they could do that, they could win the game. And if they stick with Barkley, they got to make it a point of emphasis to run the ball down their throat. And that's their shot in this game. And that's always their shot. Every week, the only way they're going to win on a consistent basis is grounding and pounding with Saquon Barkley. And I don't know why they got away from that yesterday, but they did. And hopefully that doesn't happen next week.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something if the Giants offense does.
I think I lost you there. You still there?
Actually,
there you
have an emphasis of running the football. I could see maybe a 20. What you said? Not a lot of points, so 20-14 Giants maybe. Do you see something like that?
I could see it. I mean, I could see the Giants holding them in the high teens to low 20s. I think to win that game, they're going to have to score about 20 to 24 points.
For sure.
And hopefully they do. You know, because if they lose that game, we're in big trouble. 0-2, going on the road to Tampa with a great offense and our defense. That's not a good recipe. For the Giants to beat Tampa, Eli's and that offense will have to put up high 20s, low 30s. And, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. First, we got to beat Buffalo.
Yeah, first we got to beat Buffalo. All right, brother. Well, I'll let you go, man. Thanks for the chat.
You got to keep. I'll definitely check out your channel. I'll definitely check out your channel. I've been busy, but I'll definitely check it out. And thank you for being a great supporter.
Thanks, brother. You have a good one, man. Take it easy.
You too, buddy. Have a good one. All right. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
My man, the entertainer, Banging Dolphins.
Philly 500. What is going on, buddy? How you been?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not good. But my Giants didn't play too. I heard you called in the Cop Pizzle. I'm gonna have to hear that back.
Oh yeah. You know, he's got me nervous. He's all depressed. I need to double move off this guy's ass week 9. I had to try to pick him up. I don't think he was expecting me to call, but you never know. You never know when Philly 500 will call you.
Philly 500 is a sneaky guy. That's why I like him. He's my favorite Eagles fan. Philly 500, great guy.
Thank you,
man. You just root for the wrong team. That's all, Philly.
Well, nobody's perfect. You know, that's how I feel about you guys. But I wanted to call and give you maybe a little different perspective on this quarterback situation because it's an interesting situation. And I don't know that many Giant fans would agree with me, but I really think that in today's NFL, with the salary cap and with the way things are, that when you draft a guy like Daniel Jones as early as you do, I think that you almost need to get him out and experience as soon as possible because if you can do that, you're basically buying yourself a few years with the way that his contract is structured and cap space. And I think it's a very important time to take advantage of it. Now, I'll give you the example.
Before you go on, I want to say I completely agree with you. I am not a proponent of sitting Daniel Jones this entire year. And as a matter of fact, if I were the Giants, I probably wouldn't have brought Eli back. But now that they did, I am not going to be one of these guys that blames Eli for every little miscue. Because Eli played good yesterday. Eli played good.
No, yeah, he did. And to me, as far as that goes, is I guess I don't look at pulling the quarterback or putting Daniel Jones as a slap in Eli's face. It's more of a we've got to move this franchise forward. Now, when we drafted Carson Wentz, the Eagles' plan was to keep Sam Stinkford for 2 years, okay?
Oh, God.
They wanted him to start for 2 years and let Carson learn. And then it kind of turned into a year. And I was against this because, to me, you're totally wasting this guy's rookie contract. I mean, I don't mind 5, 6, 7, 8 games, but what are the Giants trying to do? Are they trying to win a Super Bowl with Eli one more time? Because to me, if you're really trying to do that, then why do you create Odell Beckham? Or are you trying to rebuild a team in 2 to 3 years? And if that's the case, then put your quarterback out there and let him play and let him learn. And expect you're not going to win a lot of games and rebuild the franchise. Because I think sitting him a year or a half a year, and then next year, could be a learning period too. And then you're, like I said, you're wasting his contract. You've seen the big contracts: Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, Goff. I mean, you get
I agree,
those
man.
going into your fourth year.
It's a 5-year window, and usually, even with those guys, how long's Wentz been in the league? 4 years.
This is his fourth year.
Yeah, so usually with those guys, they even sign the extension before the conclusion of their rookie deal. So it is a limited window, and I agree with you, which is why when they drafted Daniel Jones, in my head, as much as I loved Eli Manning, and I still think Eli Manning's got football in him, I just don't think he's in the right situation.
He does.
And I feel bad for Eli Manning. I feel so bad for Eli Manning because he is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's on a team that more than likely is not going to contend this year. The fan base hates him. Right. Half the fan base hates this guy, which is ridiculous because they're younger fans and they don't appreciate what this guy did. And he's still got enough talent to be a starting quarterback in this league and be successful. I think if he was on the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, he could get the job done. But he's in a bad situation. He's on a team that's in rebuild mode, and he doesn't have any time left to be wasting to rebuild. He's got 2 years at most, and it's a bad situation for him. And the Giants should have not brought him back, to be honest with you. The only reasonable explanation for why they kept him is to do what they did with Kurt Warner. Have a guy for the young quarterback to learn under, show him the ropes. But you could have brought in a journeyman to do that. You could have brought in Josh McCown. You could have brought whatever.
Right.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. Eli Manning's well equipped, right, to deal with the New York media. He's been here for 15 years. He's the perfect guy to learn under. But with that comes the distraction where everybody's talking about how Eli, we got to get rid of Eli, blah, 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 blah. If you had Josh McCown, it would be an easy transition.
Right. Remember this. I mean, think about this. What if, and I think in the Eagles situation specifically, because we traded Bradford a week before the season, and Carson became the starter, and he went through a whole year where, look, he was up and down and those kind of things, and it was a learning experience. But look what happened year two. Because of the way the Eagles had money that they didn't have to pay a quarterback, they went out and got guys like Alshon, LeGarrette Blount, and guys like that. Carson comes in, he has a year of experience, his second year, and he has an MVP-type season. He has talent around him, and the Eagles go on to win Super Bowl. And what I'm saying is that Daniel Jones can learn his rookie year, and let's say he's good. Going into year two next year, you're looking at a team that could be a playoff team with this young quarterback.
I say it all the time.
The salary cap space.
I say it all the time, Philly. Eli Manning, his rookie year, we went. I think it was 5-11, might have been 6-10. The next year we went 11-5. So it's not like it can't happen. I completely agree with you. With the $80-90 million we have to spend, if Daniel Jones is the goods, which I'm not one of these people that's going to say he is yet. I don't care what he did in the preseason. Right. I don't care that he came in yesterday in mop-up duty and they had a prevent defense and he was 3 of 3 with 3 checkdowns for 17 yards. That means nothing to me.
Right.
I'm not going to say anything until I see it. And as far as the Carson Wentz goes and Jared Goff, 2 perfect examples of guys that started their rookie year, they struggled. All right, Carson Wentz was not a great rookie. Jared Goff was a horrible rookie. The second year, because of their experience year one, they were both great. So I completely agree with your sentiment that Daniel Jones needs to see the football field at some point this year, unless the Giants are doing great. If the Giants are doing great, you don't mess with greatness. But based off of week one's performance, I don't expect greatness.
Right, but also remember this. Because Carson Wentz and Goff were playing in their second year, the team had money to bring talent around them. And that's what the Giants could really do, especially with Daniel Jones and Barkley still on rookie deals. So what I'm saying is the one dangerous thing, and the one thing I don't like when teams or franchises try to straddle the fence of both ways, either rebuild or trying to go for it all. And when they sell that good, they sell those kind of ideas to their fan base. The fan base gets pissed off because they're losing and the rookies aren't playing. I think you got to do one or the other. And I think if I was the Giants, if I was a Giant fan, look, I love Eli Manning. You love what he did. But look, if we could trade him to Jacksonville or Indianapolis or something and just give the reins to this Daniel Jones, I think you should do it.
Listen, I agree with you. I mean, I'm going to give you we'll see how we do against Buffalo. But if we're 0-2, 0-3, Jacksonville's makes perfect sense if they want to do it. I know that the guy that came in supposedly did pretty well, the rookie, I don't know. But if Jacksonville is in win-now mode, which they are, right, with Nick Foles going down, Eli makes perfect sense for them. It's a 1-year commitment. You get rid of him at the end of the year. Obviously, you have the Tom Coughlin connection over there.
Right.
Maybe they take him for a fourth round, whatever, and it works out for both parties. There's no more pressure in terms of the quarterback transition. Daniel Jones takes over because the Giants, if we're being real, they are rebuilding, right? The defense is completely they're inexperienced. The defense is bad, and it's going to be the same way with Daniel Jones. You have to throw him in there. He has to take his lumps, and I hate saying that because I want to see Eli Manning go out on a bright note. I would like nothing more to see that. And Eli's best chance to go out on a bright note is somewhere else. So I think it makes perfect sense.
Eli can win with good talent around him. He's good enough to still do that. And really, I think getting all those lumps and that kind of experience of playing in your rookie year, I think it goes a long way in year two if you're the quarterback, and it gives your team flexibility and all those kind of things. So, anyways, that's just a thing back from the NFC East, your rivals' thought on it.
Before I let you, I love talking to you. First off, by the way, somebody put his link in the chat. Put his link in the chat. Anybody that is not subscribed to Philly 500, go on over there, sub this guy up. This guy's one of my favorite guys on YouTube. I love this guy. But I want to ask you about your Eagles. Because yesterday, you guys, I was getting excited. You know I don't like the Eagles, right? I'm watching the game. I'm getting excited because you guys are getting your asses kicked. You guys are down 17-0 against the Redskins at home. And I wasn't in your stream because I was watching the game on TV. I was getting ready for my stream. Mm-hmm. And so I'm watching this game, and I'm like, this is great. They're going to lose this football game. And I heard from people that were in your stream that you said, no, we're going to win. We're down 7. You were cool as a cucumber. You were saying, we got this. We got this. Yeah. And I miss having that confidence in my team because it's been forever. Because I'm the opposite. When the Giants got a 17-0 lead, I'm like, no, we're going to find a way to lose this game. But you were confident enough to be like, no, we got this. We got this.
Well, I just it was like just by you know how you have just a feel for a game, a feel or a sense of kind of what's going on. Sometimes you could be up 21 points and you feel like horrible. Sometimes you're up 3 points and you're like that team ain't scoring. I just felt like with not playing any snaps in preseason, any of the starters, they just kind of had to get it going. And it was only going to take one big play. Now, I did say if Washington goes into halftime 24-0, we're done. But it didn't happen. And then you saw the quick strike with Deshaun. And once Deshaun scored that first touchdown, it was over. So, yeah, I mean, it just the feel of it, the feel, the sense I was getting was like this game's far from over.
I'll tell you, man, if Deshaun Jackson is like that for you guys this year, which I did not anticipate, and who knows, because over Deshaun Jackson's career, he has been one of those guys that'll give you one unbelievable game, and then he'll be sleeping for 3 games. But if he has that impact this year, you guys are going to be tough. I'll say that.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be tough. I didn't expect that at 33 years old. And maybe, I mean, the second one was definitely blown coverage, but he's still got some speed, and he's still a threat on the outside, and he's going to keep defenses honest. Yeah, I mean, you guys showed fight. I can't. You guys have the heart of a champion. You guys were a champion 2 years ago, and you guys can never be counted out. And I knew you were going to come out sloppy because Carson Wentz hasn't played. He missed the last 5 games. He didn't play in the preseason. I knew you guys were going to come out sloppy, but you guys rebounded very well.
I'll tell you the best stat for Carson Wentz to me that tells me a lot. That tells me I'm getting 2017 Carson Wentz. On third down, he was 12 of 13 with 2 touchdowns. Okay, and that's almost perfect on third down situations. 12 of 13, 2 touchdowns. The only incompletion on third down was the first pass to Aguilar on the first third down. That means that he is on target. In 2017, he had the highest third down efficiency of any quarterback in the league. That's what I wanted to see from him. So that's really, really the big thing I took out of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to be excited because you guys fought. You got an interesting game coming up in Atlanta. I give Atlanta a decent chance there because it's a must-win game.
I do too.
And they're at home.
I do too. I do too. I actually had Atlanta winning this game on my prediction.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do because I still think they're a good football team as poorly as they played week 1 and they need that game.
I do too.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game. We got the Bills home. We're in Atlanta shoes. We're home. We got to win. Can't drop to 0-2. Now let me ask you this, real quick, and I'm gonna let you go. Putting yourself in Dave Gettleman's shoes, or not Dave Gettleman, rather Pat Shurmur's shoes. knowing that Eli's the guy right now, right? You're not. Let's say hypothetically, you're not gonna be able to trade him. When is the optimal time to put Daniel Jones in? Now, when you look at the Giants' schedule, they got the Bills this week. Eli's obviously starting this week. Then you go at Tampa Bay. Then you've got the Redskins home. You've got the Vikings home at Foxborough to take on the Patriots, and then the Cardinals. My belief is if they're 3-3, Eli stays. But if they're 2-4, 1-5 after 6 games, because I don't want to throw him to the wolves. I don't want to put him out there in Foxborough. I would bring him in week 7 home against the Cardinals. You get a weak defense. You're home. What were you saying?
Yeah, I like that. I like the week 7 versus Cardinals. I think you want to do it at home if you can, and if you can even use the bye or a long week or something, use those things to your advantage. But I definitely think you want to do it at home. Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see, man. Hopefully Eli plays.
And use Saquon.
My God, 11 carries. How is that even possible?
I don't know. It's baffling to me.
The guy was averaging 12 yards a carry.
I know. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
If they would have just given him the ball more, you would have kept that offense off the field more. Because, and not to mention whatever Barkley breaks and scores. Yeah, it was a bad coached game by Shurmur.
Oh, horrible. And Betcher, too, the defensive court. Both sides. It was a horrible coach game. They didn't look prepared. And we were going through this whole year with Shurmur last year, where he'd have one, like you guys. The second time we played you guys, we dominated you guys the first half. And then Shurmur just said, I'm going to stop running the football. It boggles my mind sometimes with this coach.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I had to bust your balls with you Bad Dog yesterday on my last video. I don't know if you saw.
I'm going to watch it after that. I don't know what it is, by the way.
Booth with you guys.
By the way, I got to watch it. But by the way, my notifications don't work. They haven't worked for 2 months. I don't get any notifications when people make videos. I don't know why. I have to fix it. I've tried to fix it. But I'm definitely going to check out your video. I'll be sure to check out your video. And I want everybody to check out Philly 500's channel. Love this guy. Check out his channel. Thank you for calling, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Love you, too. And everybody take care and fly, Eagles fly, baby.
Have a good one, Philly. Have a good one. He roots for the enemy, but he's a good guy. He roots for the enemy, but he's a good guy. Next caller. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Well. How's it going, entertainer?
Well. If it isn't Mikey Nixon, how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing better than I was yesterday. Let's put it that way.
Well, you couldn't be doing worse. I mean, if you were doing worse, you might be on suicide watch. I mean, that Giants game was as bad as it gets on the defensive side of the football.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed as a Giants fan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. My junior year in high school, I played football, and we had the number 3 rank. The number 1 ranked defense in the state of Pennsylvania. I'd rather have my junior year's defense out there than this Giants defense that they put out there.
It wasn't good, man. It wasn't good. And what adjustments do you think need to be made for it to get a little better?
Man, I'll tell you one thing. One thing I did not like is, I forget what down it was, but it was a Amari Cooper's touchdown. Why are you going to expose your rookie DeAndre Baker on a number 1 receiver this early in the season? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that he was doing any better on Michael Gallup, but
I told you this.
Number one receiver should be all Janoris Jenkins.
Yeah,
he has the experience.
They had a lot of pre-snap motions, and I think they probably got caught up. That's how it happened. I could be wrong. I didn't get to see the film on that play. But I told you going into the season, and we're both high on Baker. You were saying Baker's going to win Rookie of the Year. I knew that wasn't going to happen because cornerbacks in the NFL, it takes a long time to adjust. Not to mention, the rest of his defense is completely inexperienced. It's much easier for a rookie to come in on a strong defense where he's not asked to do too much. Baker's going to get exposed this year, and we should expect that, and he'll grow from it. You know.
I mean, just I don't even. So much has to be. Something's got to be done. Any adjustments that they can make, do, because it was a piss poor performance. first time, I'm going to admit this. For the first time as a Giants fan, I was embarrassed.
First time? I've been embarrassed as a Giants fan a lot. That was your first time?
Maybe I've been embarrassed a little more, but that defense.
Plaxico Burress shooting himself in the foot. Odell Beckham proposing to a kick.
I'm just talking on field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like game wise, defensive wise, I was embarrassed.
Oh, the defense is one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen.
Another thing, I don't mean to say this as a Giants fan, but it's almost like Saquon Barkley doesn't even deserve to be on the Giants if we're going to give him 11 carries. You know what I mean? Other teams would know to utilize him more than give him 11 carries, let alone 15 touches probably.
Listen,
he had about four catches.
Listen, I'll make this guarantee you can take it to the bank, and I know a lot of carries are dependent on the flow of the game, right? Because obviously when you're winning and you're ahead, you're going to run more. So I get that. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The Giants will not win one game this year in a game in which Saquon Barkley rushes for under 20 carries. It will not happen. He is our complete offense, and the running game is going to help the defense because it's going to keep them fresh off the field. It's also going to set up the pass. It's going to make them unpredictable in third and short. When you abandon the run like the Giants did yesterday, they have no chance to win football games. They just don't.
And I don't agree with pretty much taking them out early. You play him pretty much the whole game. He's our number one running back. I get it. We're losing big, and you want to give other people an opportunity to see the field, but I mean, the way you took him out, 35-17 was the final. But I mean, if you keep him in a little longer and give him some more carries, 35-17 can turn to 35-24, and maybe even 35-27 if they get like a field goal. You know what I mean? So then it almost makes it not look as bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
You don't take him out. You don't take him out. To be honest, I don't take Barkley out unless we're ahead by 40 or 30 points.
Listen, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Barkley, they're not going to win any games this year, like I said, unless they use Barkley. Last year, they were 2-10 when Barkley had under 20 carries. They were 3-1 when he did. So it's simple, man. It's a simple strategy. He's got to get carries, and he was running the ball effectively. That's the most discouraging part. If he wasn't running the ball effectively, I would understand it. He was running the ball as good as anybody could run it.
Nobody's brought it out yet, but, do you think maybe there was something wrong with Barkley that we don't know about?
No. I just don't think that they used him. I think they got out of the flow of the game. I think they had no game plan. I think it made no sense because there were so many times they could have run it with Barkley, and they decided not to. So there's no excuses. It's just a horribly coached game, and I like Pat. I'm a guy that always sticks up for Pat. I'm not sticking up for him after that game. That was he was the worst part of that game. The defense was horrible, but Pat Shurmur coached a horrible football game. Horrible. Because it was there for the taking if the defense played a little bit better. Yeah. We were moving the ball on them. We weren't going to win. I should say it was there for the taking. We weren't going to win. The defense was horrible, but it could have been a much closer football game.
I mean, if you can look at a bright spot, my only bright spot for this game was Evan Ingram was fantastic, and I'm happy to see that.
Barkley was fantastic, and the offensive line was good.
Barkley was fantastic, obviously. But like I said, the offensive line, was looking good.
Yeah, and Eli looked good.
Eli looked good.
Yeah, the offense looked good. The offense looked good.
In the same sense, I don't blame anything on Eli, but I did notice a couple times when the pressure was coming in, he looked a little tense when the pressure was coming in a little bit, just a tad bit. I won't say it was every play, but when there was pressure, I could see some. I could just see him tense up just a little bit.
Well, yeah. I just want to get to what D. Grant said there in the chat. He says, I disagree with you, Entertainer. I think the offense did what they can, and the defense I agree. D. Grant, The offense was good. My issue in terms of the offense has nothing to do with the players. I thought Eli played well. I thought Barkley played well. I thought Ingram played well. I thought the offensive line played well. Latimer played well. My issue was with the play calling. They didn't run. They ran the ball 11 times. The defense is the main culprit, but the play calling by Pat Shurmur was awful, and he didn't do his defense any favors. When you're running the ball like they were, you're hurting your defense when you're only running the ball 11 times. Give the ball to Barkley. Win the time of possession. Keep your offense on the field. Wear down that Cowboy defense. That was a huge miscue by Shurmur. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
And it's all good. And then, like you said, you don't want to play the games on the rep, but they were absolutely horrible. I fucking flipped out, excuse my French, when they did not call that freaking pass interference. And I forget how they explained it on why it wasn't pass interference. But Eli was strictly looking at Shepard, ready to throw the ball, and he's getting tackled. What do you want him to do? And then he takes the set. Like, what do you expect him to do? He's trying to throw the ball to Shepard, but he just can't because he's getting tackled. And even if he does throw it, the dude probably gets up for making a tackle and takes it off, for all we know.
Yeah. Listen, man, I don't ever blame the referees, but the officials in this game were not good. The intentional grounding penalty, so many. There was a lot of miscues. They missed some holds. But I don't blame. The Giants were going to lose regardless. They were outplayed. But
well, I mean, I think the good news is since Shepard is down and we're kind of limited on receivers, I think Shurmur should know now we gotta fucking run the ball against Buffalo. We just gotta. I mean, we can still utilize Ingram, but without having, we can utilize Lattimore. But it's just like with that hole right now at wide receiver, you gotta run Barkley more.
Oh, that's common sense, and especially with Shepard, who's probably going to be out now with the concussion. And Cruzon, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, "Are we counting?" And I know Cruzon, and I get it, man. I get all the Giants fans, by the way, that want to move on from Eli Manning. I get it. When your team is stuck in the mud and you don't have the last time we had a good offense actually was 2015. We had a great offense that year. We had a horrible defense. Since 2015, 2016, we had a bad offense. 2017, bad offense. 2018, and Eli's a part of that, right? I'm not going to be an Eli apologist. Yesterday, I don't blame Eli for that loss. But his question is, are we counting garbage time stat by now, Eli? 300. A lot of his stats, Cruzon, in my opinion, and I got to go back and look at the game and see what the score was. But, obviously I was tense in the moment watching the game. I thought Eli played well when the game was at up for grabs. He made a couple of really nice throws down the field. He escaped the blitz. He showed you could still throw the deep ball down the field. I'm not saying Eli is what he was, and I recognize we got to see Daniel Jones this year. We have to. He's on a rookie contract, unless the Giants are great, which they're not going to be. Not with this defense. Not if we're being realistic.
No.
But I don't put the blame. Cruzon, I know you don't like Eli. I know you want to move on from Eli, and I know a lot of people in the chat want to move on from Eli. All I'm saying is he has very little to do with why they lost that football game yesterday, and the defense and the play calling by Pat Shurmur had a lot more to do with it. But go ahead.
And then going to the Eli thing, if you look at last year, Eli didn't do a lot of good things. But then again, how easy is it to do anything when you barely have any time to throw the ball? Like, the offensive line was horrible for the most part last year, but when we did start to get that chemistry going towards the end of the year, but like, how do you expect the quarterback to make any plays, or at least have a chance to make some good plays when you got pressure coming at him almost every play? You know what I mean?
I thought the offensive line played pretty well. I thought that they held up and gave Eli a pretty clean pocket. But the disparity between run and pass is my biggest issue, and what he did.
I'm not talking about like this game. I'm just talking about last year for the most part.
Oh well, yeah. Last year the offensive line was horrible, which is why they went on and improved it. And
that's why I was saying that a lot of people giving a shit on Eli last year too, and it's like how are you supposed to make a decent play when you have pressure coming at you almost every play?
Oh, that's why they got Zeitler. That's why they improved the offensive line.
Exactly.
And D. Grant, I completely agree with you. The defense is the biggest culprit yesterday. I'm not going to argue with you on that. The defense, Pat Shurmur's second for me. The play calling is second. The defense was the worst. And whether it was Betcher, whether it was the players, and we know the defense is going to struggle. We have to realize that at this point. It's a young defense, but the defense is horrible. But Mike, I'm going to let you go because I got somebody calling in. I just want to say thank you so much for the call, and thank you for being a great subscriber.
No problem, brother. I appreciate everything you do for your channel. And like I said, hopefully everything's going well with your car, and hopefully I can see you at the sports race soon.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I'll be in Texas before you know it. I ran into some stuff at home where I'm gonna be down there. It might be in a couple more months, but I'll be down there.
Okay, keep up the great work.
I appreciate it,
Mike. Keep up the
man.
great work, brother. And anything you ever need from me, man, you can always hit me up.
I appreciate what you do for my channel, buddy. I really do.
No problem. Have a good one, brother.
You too, Mike. Have a good one, my man. That was Mike Nix, a great subscriber of mine. You guys have because I'm not getting married. MH. I had somebody calling. Go ahead and try to call back. I apologize. I had somebody calling. But yeah, go ahead and call, guys. Seems like the phones are starting to slow down a little bit for a change. Why are people blaming the defense? We knew the defense sucked. Well, you could still blame the defense for how they played in that game. I mean, the defense played horrible in that game, Cruz on. But yeah, the defense is clearly the weakness to this team. Seems like the phones have died down. We had somebody call me while I was on the phone with Mike, which is why I hung up on him. But maybe I'm not getting calls. That happens sometimes. Sometimes it screws up on Skype. But if we don't get calls for a couple more minutes, we'll close it out. We've been on for a little while. There's a call. Now they're coming. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, entertainer? It's MH.
MH, what's going on, my man? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I mean, still recovering from. Yesterday. That game plus the Mets also losing. Just culmination of this art. If the Knicks were playing, they would have probably lost too. If basketball season was around this corner, but that loss was tough.
You should be used to the Mets by now, man. You should be used to the Mets by now.
but they're still in it. They actually won today.
How many games out? Were they four out? 5 out?
They could still be 4 out. It depends on if the Cubs Washington didn't play today. I think the Cubs. I'm not sure. I think the Cubs did play today, but I'm not sure if they won. But 4, whatever. I mean, we still got 19 games left. There's still time, But
got to win 15. 15 of those 19 have a shot.
But yeah, I'll talk Giants.
Yeah.
I want to keep on, preaching to the choir. Your regular sayings. You like to throw 100 sayings everywhere. They're just saying for every play. You got dribbling, bibbling, throwing and doning. There's everything. But
right.
The defense was just. It was horrendous. I can't really, it's preached to the choir. I understand, but there was this guy. Those missed tackles really were cringe. Like just watching that Hamilton one. I watched it in the moment, and I was just really I understand the whole going down. I understand sometimes maybe you want to go body, but at times if you can outpower the whoever has the ball, I understand that at times, but you always go down and chop off the legs. That's the whole purpose of you walk with your legs. You run with your legs. In football, you run with the ball. You want to get the guy down. So. We're not sacking guys with the football. We're they're fast, Was that wide receiver who got the ball? Yeah.
Yeah. That was Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb, who's a slot receiver. He's not even a physical receiver. I
heard that he was outpowering Baker. I like Baker, but yeah,
think of Baker like a rookie on the Knicks. I know you're a big basketball fan. It's not. Kevin Knox struggled early on last year. It's the same thing. He's a rookie. He needs to get his feet wet. He needs experience, and he's only going to get better with experience. And not to mention cornerback, other than quarterback, might be the hardest position to translate to from college football to the NFL. So
yeah, there's a lot of things to learn. Defense. You're not always going to get. Obviously in this game it was more disappointing we didn't get at Prescott at all. That was the biggest disappointment. That it's like he wouldn't even touch. A feather didn't even touch Dak. that's how light it felt like we were getting at him because if we at least got him once, maybe one sack, you'd be like, oh, that was nice. That could have been a few highlights. But I mean, was it even a tap? Did we even tap the ball up in the air? I don't even think.
Not that I remember. We got very little pressure. We didn't do a great job at collapsing the pocket. Yeah, we didn't do a great job in this game. We on defense. We got very little. The only thing, and so I think somebody said in the chat. I said it earlier. We did decent against the run. We held the Cowboys, and that's what they're known for. We held them to 89 yards on the ground. But outside of that, and that was probably because we overcommitted to stopping the run, which is why we got so lit up in the passing game. But we made no adjustments. We made no adjustments defensively, and we got killed in the time of possession. And part of the reason is because our defense sucked. They had long drives. That's a big part of it. The other part was we couldn't convert on third downs. We were 2 for 12 on third down conversions. You're not going to win many games when you convert, like 15, not even 15% of the time or whatever that is. I'm not great at math, but you're not going to win games like that. You're just not.
Yeah, we can. I mean, that's the biggest. It's the biggest clutch play in football is third and whatever. I mean, obviously, it was just pointing that we were throwing on 3 and 3 and 2s, 3 and 1s. You don't do that. You have the biggest weapon. I mean, obviously, the biggest case, like you can say Saquon's the best NFL player currently on all rosters.
When you take away the quarterback position, you talk strictly offense, because defense, obviously, there's some great players on defense. But when you're talking strictly offense, I'll take him over anybody, excluding the quarterback position. I'm taking him over any wide receiver. I'm taking him over any running back.
Again, he's a play. I mean, obviously, the quarterback makes throws, but again, it's kind of the whole thing where, everybody who blames Eli, they think the quarterback has control over everything on the offense, when in reality, he can't catch the balls that, are dropped. He can't run. He can't run. Eli cannot control all these elements. Obviously, defense obviously can't control none of that either. So all these people blaming Eli. There are a couple throws there was where Saquon was going I don't know if it was like a slant where he goes to when Saquon goes to receive, and there was a few off throws, but that was later on in the game. So I guess it didn't mean as much because he was trying to force the pass, Eli. So I guess maybe he just felt like, I need to get this to Saquon, and he missed a few of them. I mean, obviously, you're going to make mistakes. I mean, this is not
Eli was not the pass. I go back to say Eli was not near the problem in this game. But the thing is, when you're the quarterback, I'll be the first to say Eli Manning got more credit. Well, the second Super Bowl, no. Second Super Bowl, he carried us. First Super Bowl, Eli played good in the playoffs, but the defense was the driving force. And when you're the quarterback, you're going to get all the credit. And he did. And by the same token, when your team's bad, the quarterback's going to get all the blame. And he doesn't deserve some of it, but that comes with the territory. It just does. Because you look at great quarterbacks like Peyton Manning. He never lost. Tom Brady, right? So people look at it like that, and Eli Manning could definitely play better. He's going to take a lot of the blame because he's the quarterback. He's not the biggest problem on this team. And anybody, in my opinion, the defense is by far the biggest problem. The offensive line was a huge problem. They're starting to shore that up. They looked good yesterday. Eli looked pretty good, probably because of that offensive line. But, we got to move on. I recognize that. Daniel Jones is going to be our guy going forward. I just don't like seeing people blame Eli Manning when it's not deserved. And yesterday I felt like it wasn't. I felt like he played good enough to win that football game. We just didn't do everything else right to win it.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole asking for, Daniel Jones got so much time, but this is no way in any shape or form official Daniel Jones debut, because it's not 0-0. He came in a blowout, and I don't know why people, like you said in your video, you said that people were like, obviously people are going to want Daniel Jones immediately after every Eli mistake. I mean, we were calling this before. I mean, once we drafted him, we were like, okay, once Eli makes a mistake, people are going to be asking for Daniel Jones. Like, if it's a home game, I think maybe the fans, I don't know if the fans are going to be that, respond. It matters, it depends on game situation. Like, if we're down by 2 touchdowns, Eli's making a few bad passes, then maybe, the fans at MetLife would want him, but I don't see our fans. I mean, I know the fans on the internet are going to say it because they can't, they're not there in the games. They don't know. We're all fans here. We're taking it in. So maybe I'm not here. I'm not one of these we need Daniel Jones immediately. I'm actually one of the few minority that think he should take this first year off. I understand now since we're going to suck, we definitely want him, but if he gets the tutelage and he sees everything on the sideline, then I think maybe it would be worth a year of just learning.
Hey,
man.
What do you think about that? And I just want to get this super chat. I'm going to answer exactly what you had because I've been asked that a lot, and I'm definitely going to answer it. Cruzon, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, Bad Dog's in the chat. If you haven't done so, going over to Bad Dog, and I guess Bad Dog just announced he's going to say he wants to move on from Eli tomorrow. I'll make a video on that. And Cruzon, who hates Eli, doesn't hate Eli, but he wants to move on from him, says, Bad Dog, I can't wait to see your video, LOL. I'm going to disagree with Bad Dog. And, we don't disagree on a lot of things. If they were going to bring Eli back, they brought him back, and he played good yesterday. So I don't understand benching him after a performance against a good defense. I don't understand the benching. I know people want to see Daniel Jones, but why is Eli on the roster if you're going to bench him after he has a good game? Why did they make Eli the starter? And if that's the case, then Eli shouldn't have been here to begin with. So they're not going to bench him. So, in my opinion, they're not going to bench him. And I agree. You can look at this one of two ways, right? What you just said, MH. You look at the Eagles blueprint, right? You look at the Eagles blueprint, you look at the Rams blueprint. They threw their quarterbacks into the fire. They struggled their first year. And Daniel Jones will probably struggle. It's common for a rookie quarterback to struggle. But they got good year 2 because of it. But you could also point out examples like Aaron Rodgers, sat on the bench for 2 years. Pat Mahomes sat on the bench for a year, learned behind Alex Smith, and they played well. Now, this is a bad football team. It's not an example like the Packers. It's not an example like the Chiefs where they have that luxury. So that is why when Philly 500 called in, that's exactly what I said. I said, you know what, to be fair, if I was the general manager, as much as I love Eli, I wouldn't have brought Eli back because I would have known this is not going to be that good of a football team. It's not going to be a transitional period like the Chiefs, like the Packers, where Daniel Jones could learn like Pat Mahomes did or Aaron Rodgers can. We'll still have a 10, 11, 9, 8 competitive football team, win team, and he can learn and sit on the bench. It wasn't the right marriage. But now that he's here, now that Eli's starting, to me it makes no sense to bench him off the performance he had other than just to start Daniel Jones to get his feet wet. But if that's the case, why did you bring Eli Manning back to begin with? So that's my take on it.
I mean, I think I have a theory of why Philly would think that. I think he wants Daniel Jones, so if the Eagles were to face Daniel Jones and they get a sack on him, he can sing the Bad Dog song. I think that's really, because that's really, I mean, maybe it's in the back of his mind, obviously, because he's speaking, I mean, when we speak, we were trying to be unbiased while still kind of having our little biases. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be 100% biased like some of these quote-unquote content creators that think they know everything, but then just bash and put thumbnail, like these clickbaity thumbnails when, I mean, obviously you, Bad Dog, the whole, Sports Theory, Philly 500, all these guys are just trying to put out quality, real content. But the whole thing with Daniel Jones, like, Daniel Jones, he'll get his time. And if it happens this year, I wouldn't mind it. But
at the end of the day,
I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, at the end of the day, my mindset is, what does it matter if he comes in week 2 or week 7? I mean, really, what does it matter? I mean, he gets a couple extra weeks experience, but at the end of the day, maybe it does him well to sit for a few more weeks. He's going to see the field by field game 7. I guarantee it. And there's no way he's going to see the field week 2. He's just not. Eli Manning will be starting week 2. And I personally think the earliest we're going to see him is maybe week 4. If they start 0-3, maybe. If not, definitely by week 7 if we're playing really poorly. So regardless, if you want him in now or later, you're going to see him week 7 unless this Giant team plays well. And if they're playing well, let him ride, So let him learn for under Eli. That's the way I look at it. If we're bad, that's the luxury we have. You have a veteran quarterback that he could learn under for at least half a season. I wouldn't bring him in at week 7 if we're bad, but I'm not going to yell about it. If they bring him in week 4, if we're 0-3, I can't complain about it. My only mindset is, why did you bring Eli back in the first place? You could have used that $16 million to help out Daniel Jones this year. So. Well,
I mean, I think that's pretty easy to answer. I mean, obviously, we should all know, like, the main reason this is Eli Manning we're talking. I mean, even though this is Eli Manning at the tail end of this is near retirement Eli. I mean, he's not, I think he's still productive, but I mean, this is the guy who got us 2 Super Bowls. It doesn't matter how, I mean, obviously Eli is, however, is he 40, right? He's 40, Eli?
38.
he's 38 years old. He still looks young as a baby. The man is still. People still get those flashbacks of him throwing the, Tyree getting the cash and all that, and then Manningham throw. Keyword the throw. This is a guy who got us there. It would be a way different story if if it was one Super Bowl, maybe we would still keep him. If it was none, I don't even know if Eli would. Eli would probably been ran out of New York by the media and everybody being like, "Oh, it can't be Tom Brady." But since he did, that's why he's staying on. That's why he's still here. He's the seasoned veteran. He's seen all the players come and gone and the new generation going in, and that's why he should see when Eli does eventually get benched, he'll see Daniel Jones evolve, and he'll be there on the sidelines like a proud papa.
Oh, he's not going to do what Joe Flacco did. He'll be a great leader and root on his teammate. But I just think the Giants handled this situation horribly. Because if they knew this team was going to be bad, which if they were being realistic, they had to think at best they're going to be an 8-8, 9-7 team if everything breaks right. So why did you bring Eli back? Why didn't you give Eli an opportunity to go win somewhere else? Why did you bring him back so he has to deal with this? When he has a good game week 1, when you could say, okay, good. The fact he put up 300 yards and threw almost 70% completion and hit some long throws. I don't want to hear his old dink and dunks. He hit some long throws. He escaped the sack. He played as good as he could play against that defense. And people already calling for his benching. Why would you bring Eli Manning back and put him in that situation? That's what I'm upset about with how the New York Giants handled this. Why didn't you trade him? Why didn't you let him be a free agent, release him, and let him go somewhere else? So I hope they trade him to the Jaguars because it works out for both parties. But we'll have to wait and see. MH, I got a guy calling. He's been calling it for a while. I want to take it. But thank you so much for the call.
Yes. Thank you, man. Stand up, Giants fans. I'll see you next time, Antenna.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, entertainer.
What is going on? Who's this?
What's up? Harlem Cowboy, my man.
Harlem Cowboy. Big Cowboys fan. Yeah. You told me you'd be calling back, and you did.
Absolutely. What a game, man. What a game. I just want to let you and your, fan base know, don't be too bad. Don't feel bad about the game. Yo was watching the 2019 MVP out there this time.
Well, we'll have to wait and see about that, brother. Man. I know Cowboys fans. I know Cowboys fans out with this performance now are going to be all rah rah rah, and they're going to think that Dak Prescott's the second coming of Brett Favre and Tom Brady, and maybe he will be. Hey, I don't think so, but we'll have to wait and see.
This is not a Jared Goff, Carson Wentz thing. This is a quarterback that's been consistently improving since 2016. He wasn't a bum in 2016 like Wentz and Goff. Dak was a quality quarterback since he came into this league. And we all know it. You might not want to say it, but we all know it.
Yeah.
And you're right. That game was not on Eli. Eli kind of had me pissed off looking so good out there.
Listen, I talked to several Cowboy fans after the game, and they were shocked. I got a question for everybody that says that Eli should be benched off that performance. What could he have done that was better? Again, you guys have a very good defense. And if you were going to want to bench him off that performance, then why weren't you calling for his benching before the season started? Because he couldn't have played much better than what he did against Dallas. So if you're not going to give him a fair chance, why is he playing? Why is he here? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say.
You're absolutely right. And the only thing that shut Eli down was the fact that the Giants' defense couldn't get off the field. So Barkley couldn't get the ball. By the time he won...
I can't hear you. You're breaking up. I think I lost you. I lost them. You're going to have to call back in. I don't hear you. Don't hear you. We'll wait for the next call. It is 11:14. I lost that call. It seemed like it was going to be a good call. Hopefully he calls back in. I couldn't believe I was watching Arizona tie. Arizona had a great comeback in that game, Jedi. Is that you again? Hello? All right. Next call. You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on? Salute to everybody in the chat. What's going on, entertainer? How you feeling?
What, Delano?
Yes, it is.
What's going on, Delano? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. recovering. I'm recovering from last night's debacle on the defensive end, and I'm trying to do my best to. I've been trying to get on the phone with Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, Jesse Armstead. Listen, I've been trying to reach out to these guys because at the end of the day, what I've seen yesterday, and just being in the chat with you guys, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for Antonio Hamilton by himself. Just like, man, listen, I don't know if he's in the burn section of the hospital right now, but for all them times he got burnt yesterday, oh man, it was embarrassing.
Yo, the defense was horrible yesterday. They got absolutely. Can you think off the top of your head? Can you think of a more embarrassing defensive performance as a team? I'm not even talking specifically about Hamilton. As a collective unit, could you, off the top of your head, could you think of a more embarrassing time ever since you've been watching the Giants in a specific game?
Never.
I mean, it was
maybe
horrible.
Maybe the 1992 season. It was kind of embarrassing there, but still, it wasn't. From what I saw yesterday, I mean, even that wasn't as bad. You know, the 1992 season wasn't as bad as that.
Bear Dog says Rams in 2017. Yeah, that was a bad one. Rams in 2017, 51-10. That was bad. But yesterday was pretty bad. Yesterday, I think Dak had 5 consecutive drives with a touchdown. So it was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is the one time I swear, if I could go back and beg some of these guys, I'd beg Tom Coughlin to come back and coach. Because the one thing I can tell you for sure, with Saquon Barkley as the running back, the one thing we would never have to complain about is how many touches he gets. You seen what he did with Brandon Jacobs, and I don't understand how Shurmur can. And I know everybody's been saying this all night. How does Pat Shurmur have the best running back in the league and not give him the ball?
I mean, it's not rocket science. I don't know. I don't. And he did this all last year. He did this all last year, and we all recognize that this offense is going to go as he goes. And when you don't use him, it is so frustrating.
And I'm gonna be honest. This is exactly why even yesterday I was saying fire Shurmur after this season, because I can't imagine another season. See, last season you could get away with, the offensive line wasn't good at all, and they didn't really show up until maybe the second half of the season. You could get away with that just a little bit, but you still wasn't handling the ball. I mean, the game against Philadelphia spoke the loudest when he basically had his way with the entire Philadelphia defensive line, breaking tackles, getting long yards and everything. And then the second half of that game, we completely go away from him and we lose.
Right.
And it just, how many games are we going to see like that with Shurmur at the helm before we start saying, okay, Shurmur's just not the guy that we need to be play calling anymore?
I listen, man, I've been a proponent of Shurmur. I like Shurmur, but you know what? When we have games like yesterday, it really makes me question him. It really does. He has some games where I think he calls a good game, and I also try to give him a fair shake knowing that we don't have the most talented roster. But there's times where I'm like, I don't know if this is the guy. And I know the Giants aren't going to fire him. They're not. Because the Giants, over the course of their history, other than Ben McAdoo, always let the coach have at least 3, 4, 5 years. And Pat Shurmur's done. We got to be fair in the talent on this team. This is not a playoff team in terms of talent. Last year was not a playoff team in terms of talent. Could we have done better last year? Yeah, we could have won. And a lot of that was bad bounces, right? The Carolina game. But the Eagles game we should have won, and we lost because of him. Yesterday, I don't think we were winning no matter what, but it could have been a much more competitive game had he called the proper game. And you know what? I do not have full faith in Pat Shurmur. I will say that. He has not impressed me yet consistently.
Yeah, I've been saying this from the beginning of the off season up until now. Right now, I wouldn't mind if we went ahead and got Patrick Peterson in the next season, because the secondary is a problem, and I know we got a lot of them, but geez Louise, I mean, again, like all those guys, I mean, the third-degree burns that must be. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm sure they're getting ointment treatments administered to their hands. to the Bucks because I mean it was embarrassing. It was bad. And I felt horrible. Especially for Hamilton. Baker, you know, I felt bad for him. I understood, you know, again, some of these guys. Okay, again, like I said, they're new, they're rookies, the young players and all that, but. I mean, still, that was horrible. I cried a little bit.
Delano, that was as bad as it gets. But one thing I'm going to say, and I say it in my video tomorrow. I already made a video, but I'm going to release it tomorrow about the defense and how we can improve it. And what I say is, it's like when you start a job for the first, like what you do now. When you first started your job, you probably sucked at it, and you only get better by getting thrown in the fire. And I think we need to take that mindset with this defense. Because they're all young, they're all rookies, they're all second-year players, and they're only going to get better by being put in situations and making mistakes. Because I remember doing what I do. I'm a cable technician. I sucked. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'd go into people's houses, and I'd spend 4 hours at a job that should take a half hour. Because I'd be running lines when I shouldn't have been running them or whatever. And I learned by making my mistakes. And I think we have to take the same approach with DeAndre Baker, with all these young players, because they're going to make their mistakes. They just are. Unfortunately. And there's really no easy answer to fixing this defense other than keep throwing these guys out there and let them improve over time because they have the talent. They just don't have the experience yet.
Now, I will say this. The highlight of that game yesterday wasn't even the game. I appreciate you, Bad Dog, and DWG in the chat, you know, live streaming. I had a phenomenal time just kicking it with y'all in the chat. And if I was there, I wish I was there with you guys sometime where, you know, you was doing the streams and all that stuff. Because I would love to be there with you.
Hey man, well, maybe one of these days. I don't know if you have Skype, but maybe one of these days I'll have you on.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, definitely, man. You're a great supporter of all of us. You always show up to our streams. I appreciate you more than you know, man. You know, with my Knicks content, my Giants content, you're always watching. So. I can't say thank you enough, man. You always call in. You always bring a great take. Love talking to you on the phone. And hopefully the Giants play better for us. Hopefully the Knicks surprise us this year. And maybe they make the playoffs. Because I'm getting real sick and tired of being a New York sports fan these last few years.
Yeah, I mean, again, long suffering.
Yeah, long suffering. Long suffering, and it's been a while. All I'm going to say is, got to have some faith. Because I said it earlier. From 2005 to 2011, 2012, the Giants were a good football team. They had a 7-8 year period there. Now we're going through a 7-8 year down period. We got to take our baby steps, much like the Knicks do, to build the team the right way, and I think they are. But with that comes lumps, and we're going through those lumps right now. And I'm hoping in 2 years we have another 6, 7, 8 year period of sustained success. And the only way to do it is to build through the draft, and that's what the Giants have done. It's just going to take a few more years. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's still our team. You know, we're still rooting for them. And one thing I always say is, at least I could say that for every era, from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, at least we've got a Super Bowl ring to show for it. So, you know, we're due.
Oh, we'll get another one.
You know,
we're the New York Giants, Delano. We'll get another. I'm not worried about it.
And Daniel Jones will likely be leading us to maybe 1, 2, 3 more. Who knows?
Give me one. Give me one. I'll take one. I'm not going to be greedy. Give me one, Daniel Jones. But, well, you know what?
But,
Phil Simms technically got us 2. Eli got us 2. Jones get us 2.
Yeah. But, you know, I know you got other callers and everything. Just wanted to chop it up with you real quick and show love and support. And
no, man.
Everybody in the chat.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you calling in, and you know, have a good. I know you're probably at work. I know you work the overnight, so have a good day. Good night. Rest of your night at work.
All right, thanks a lot. Y'all have a good one.
All right, Delano, thank you for the call, buddy. And yes, Bad Dog, live streams are the best, man. If anybody's not done so, I don't know if I already shouted. I think I did, but if you have not done so, click that man's name right there with that blue doggy face. Check out his channel. Subscribe. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's going on, entertainer?
What's going on? Who's this?
Yeah. Hey, this is Perry Mack from The Rock.
Perry Mack. What's going on, my man? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, nothing much, man. I don't know what's Dutch's problem, but God came down and gave him a signing. He didn't take it. He tied Jason Witten's shoe up with Tony Hamilton, or Hamilton, whatever the guy's name is, just to tell him to get this guy out the game. And on the very next snap, he's back out there. Like, what the heck is going on? This felt like the equivalent of playing Madden, right? When you run a hot streak, you stop the Cowboys first, and then you go down, you run the ball, and you get a touchdown, and then you fall asleep. And then your little sister picks up the remote and starts to play the game for you. That's what it felt like. Like, what the hell happened to this team after that last drive? Like,
I mean, our defense had one good drive the entire game, and it was the first drive of the game. They get even on that drive. When you go back and look at the film, Cowboys were wide open. They dropped a couple of passes, and we got lucky that we were able to get them off the field. Just a horrible game, man. We look completely lost on that side of the ball. The only encouragement, and I've been saying it all night, the offensive side, we look good. We just couldn't pick up 3rd and 1s and 3rd and 2s because of horrible play calling. And, part of that goes on Eli, too. I'm not going to, say that he doesn't take any blame. But Pat Shurmur called a horrible game, and we got to do better next game. That's all I can say. Two for 12 on 3rd down conversions is inexcusable. You have to be at least 35-40% on 3rd down to win football games, and we weren't even close.
Can you imagine the Lions giving Barry Sanders 10 carries? Like,
no, they wouldn't. And they wouldn't. And that's what it comes down to is we've got the golden goose on our team, and when you don't use them, it's incredibly frustrating because we know for this team to win, it's going to go through Barkley. And I get that some people, I think I saw D. Grant say it earlier, I get that some people are going to say, why are we going to waste him, right? This team's not good anyway. Let's save him for the rest of the season. But as a fan, you want to win football games, right? And
yeah, true.
You want to win football games, and he's our guy. I don't want to go out there and waste this guy and not use him at all. So they got to give this guy 20, 25 carries every game. And I hope Pat learns the lesson. Hopefully it's just one game this year, and he's like, all right, I learned my lesson. I'm going to make it a focal point to give this guy the ball as much as I possibly can. Because he makes plays out of nothing. He makes plays out of nothing. And with this improved offensive line, it should be even better this year. That's the one encouraging thing that came out of this game.
Yeah, one thing I want Zeitler to fix, he has a little cadence of sitting up before the ball is snapped. You notice that? Like he'll make a little sit up or something, or push up or whatever he'll do. He has a little cadence that I think might get flagged later on in the season. Because, some refs, they're really picky about crap like that.
Yes, they are.
All right, I'll let you go, entertainer.
No, man.
Congratulations on the show, man.
No, man, thank you for calling it. Thank you for being such a great supporter. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the call.
Right, man.
Thank you for the call. And 1 second, I just want to get to the chat real quick. Clock says you're 10 of 4 in your picks against the spread this week. That's friggin' awesome, Clocks. I'll have my picks up on Wednesday. I don't even know how I did. I got to take a look at that. I don't think I did that good. I think I was probably around 500 against the spread. But congratulations, Clocks, man. Good job. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, this is Harlem Cowboy again. We got disconnected.
Yeah. After about 2 minutes, you dropped out there.
I know. Yeah, I was just saying that, I'm not going to even sit here. I was impressed with all the Giants' offense, for real. And they're going to be more problems than people think. But the Cowboys, I think we're going to be a juggernaut this year, so don't be surprised by the outcome.
Listen, man, I'm being completely unbiased, and before this game, because this game doesn't tell me much about your team, I'm going to be completely honest with you. That Giants defense was horrible. You guys have a very good football team. I picked you guys to win the NFC East. Before the season started, a lot of people are picking the Eagles. I love your football team. I don't love your team because I hate you guys, but I love how your team is constructed. You win in the trenches. That's how you guys won in the 90s, and you guys have it again. You guys have a strong defensive front. You have a strong offensive line. That's the bread and butter of your football team. Do I think Dak is an elite quarterback? No. I think he looked elite yesterday. I think he's a good enough quarterback to win, though. And that's all you need at the end of the day. I think he's a slightly above average quarterback. And that's all you need. With the parts that you have around him, you're going to make him look elite. When you have Zeke, when you have that offensive line, when you've got Amari Cooper, you got that strong defense. You're going to win the time of possession. You're going to be a tough football team to beat this year. I didn't pick you guys, but you guys are in the top 3 or 4 teams in the NFC. No doubt about it.
See, I take it as, too, that win, I think it was more about the Cowboys than it was the Giants' defense. About how we coming out this year, not with that Scott Linehan, our old offensive coordinator, offensive scheme, just beat the man in front of you. It's more now trying to figure out what's going on, pre-snap movements and stuff shifting. It makes it more simpler. And it's all of this that Dak needs this, Dak needs that. What quarterback doesn't need a good system? Carson Wentz was garbage with no running game. He need a running game and all of that, but they're still trying to make him an MVP caliber quarterback. He's garbage with no run game.
No, you bring up a great point. You bring up
against the Skins too. Against the Skins yesterday in the first half, they couldn't run the ball. Carson Wentz looked like a rookie.
You bring up a great point. There's very few quarterbacks that don't need a great. There are some like the elite, the Aaron Rodgers of the world, the Peyton Mannings. But yes, you're right. Most quarterbacks need a well-balanced. 95% of quarterbacks need a well-balanced offense to be successful, and that's what I've been preaching about Eli Manning for years.
Exactly.
And it's not a knock on Dak. I just don't think Dak is top of the top. But you don't need top of the top. Eli Manning was not top of the top, if I'm being completely honest with you. He had a year, 2011, he was top of the top. But for the course of his career, he was very good. He was very good and great when it mattered. I don't think Dak is great, but I think he's good enough with the team that you have around him to win. The thing I worry about if I'm a Cowboy fan, and I agree, I went back and looked at some of the film of that game. Your new offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, did a great job with the pre-snap, movement. They really confused our defense. I agree with you. The thing I worry about. What you say?
That's not gonna only confuse rookies neither. That pre-snap dictates what we're gonna do, and a lot of teams use it now. It's difficult to adjust to. Believe me.
The thing I worry about if I'm a Cowboy fan, your head coach. I worry about Garrett. That's the thing that worries me the most about if I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, but see, what people don't realize with Jason Garrett, we didn't start building this team in this form until Jason Garrett and Stephen Jones took over. This team is built as a 90s type, because Jason Garrett was part of those Super Bowl teams. He built this team just like from the inside out. He might not be a great head coach. That's why we got offensive coordinators. But he's a player's coach. The players will run through a wall for Jason Garrett.
Listen, man.
People don't realize that.
I love the way you built your team. And I agree that you took that 90s approach, and the Giants are doing the same thing, which is what I'm encouraged about. Gettleman's made it an emphasis to improve the front seven, to improve the offensive line, and that's how you win football games. And that's why you guys have a chance to beat anybody on any given Sunday because of how strong your offensive line is. A lot of people laughed when you would take an offensive lineman as early as you did. A lot of people laughed when you took Ezekiel Elliott when you did because people said, why are you going to draft a running back that early when you have that offensive line? Anybody could run behind it. But you know what? He's a special running back, and you guys did it the right way. You guys built the team the right way. Leighton Vander Esch last year was a great pick. I could only hope my Giants do what your team did. You know, I hate you guys, but I give credit where it was due. You guys built your team the right way. You built it through the draft, and you guys have a very good football team because of it. And it showed on Sunday. We'll see if you guys could get it done in the playoffs. I still have my doubts with Dak's arm strength in a playoff atmosphere, a cold atmosphere with the winds. Does he have enough arm strength to make those tight window throws in Lambeau Field if you guys have to go to Green Bay? Does he have the arm strength to play in the windy conditions in Chicago? I don't know if he does. And we'll find out this year. And maybe you guys get home field advantage and you don't got to worry about it.
We're going to have a few games out in the cold, but yeah, that's all true too. He got to prove that, but he's getting better, just like any young quarterback. You got to remember, Dak gets judged differently than these other quarterbacks, first of all. First, because he's the quarterback of the Cowboys, first. And then because he's a fourth-round pick, being judged with the best ones out here. You got to remember that. Dak was a fourth-round pick. He wasn't supposed to be starting. He was a third round. He was supposed to be a project. And he came into the league on fire, and he's consistent with what he do. He hasn't fell off the map. Even when we didn't have Zeke, he went 3-3 that year, 2017. You know, it was rough, but, you know. And before I go, I have to say, because I got to go, I'm driving.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is gonna be good. I'm not, and that. I hope we face him the next time around. But he's gonna be good. I see it in him, and
I agree with you. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not gonna. I gotta see it first. Preseason, he looked good. I like what I've seen. I think he's gonna be good. I think he has a good head on his shoulders. I think he's a hard worker. He has all the tools I want. But before I'm fully committed to Daniel Jones, a lot of people have been fooled before. I gotta see him do it. But I think he can, and I think he will. But I don't know it yet. But I can't wait to see him play on the football field. It'll be fun to see. And I know Giants fans will be excited to see it, and I will be too. It just sucks that we got to say goodbye to Eli Manning in the fashion that I think we're going to have to. I would have rather him getting a better send-off than this, but that's part of the business, man, unfortunately, and he'll have to cheer him on from the sideline. I think that's how this is going to play out this year.
Yeah, you're right about that. I wanted to send him off on a motorcycle, waving goodbye, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think
he'll be on the bench he'll have a headset on the bench.
Yeah, I by week 7, I'd be surprised unless this team turns it around quick, and I hope they do. But if they don't by week 7, Daniel Jones will be the quarterback.
And I'm gonna be trolling you all season, man.
Listen, man, I welcome trolls. I welcome all Cowboy fans. I see somebody in the chat said I hate. I guess they were a Cowboy fan. They said I hate seeing the entertainer saying he hates the Cowboy. Listen, I'm a fan. I respect you guys. I try to be as unbiased as I possibly can. But, I'm a fan. I don't like your team. I'm a Giant fan. I got to be honest. But I'll admit when you guys are good, and you guys are good. You guys got a good football team. But thank you so much for the call, man. I look forward to talking to you more in the future.
All right, one last thing. I heard Philly 500. We better than the Eagles. We swept the Eagles. Tell them to stop all that Carson Wentz. That Eagles are better. They have to prove it. They never beat us with Zeke. Dak is 4-2. They're not better than us. Have a good night, my brother.
You got it, man. Thank you for the call, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right.
Have a good one. All right. Next call. You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, Tina? How are you?
Well. If it isn't Brandon Rogers, what's going on, Brandon?
Tina, I'm not going to lie to you. First that Seattle game, man, I was nervous out of my shoes, dude. The way our secondary and offensive line was playing, oh, my God, I got really nervous. At least Carson bailed us out on a few good plays, but, holy crap, dude, I was getting nervous over there.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the game, obviously. I'm a Giants guy. I know that you guys barely beat the Bengals, which is a horrible, horrible sign for your season. Hopefully you guys turn that around. That's as bad as a loss, in my opinion. You guys should have destroyed that team in Seattle.
Yeah.
I am shocked that game was close. I'd have worries if I was a Seattle fan after that. I didn't see the game, but the fact that it was a 1-point game is concerning.
But, Tana, the defense, we did make plays when we had to. Our run defense, that was one of the best positives out of this game. Defensive line, Clowney, Ziggy Ansah wasn't fully ready, but I think the run defense was just really good. We held Joe Mixon, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright made plays. Clowney was forcing pressure on Dalton all game. We created turnovers when we had to, and Russell made plays like he always did. But I'm telling you, Tana, the game that shocked me the most this week was the Vikings. I did not think they would blow the Falcons out like that.
Vikings,
listen,
man, I know. Well, you like the Vikings. You're picking them to win the North, right?
Oh, yeah, they're my sleeper because of how talented they are. I think they can really compete this year in the NFC.
I agree with you. I have the Vikings getting a wild card. I like the Packers, but I have the Vikings getting in as the wild card. I actually have the Bears finishing third in the North. I had that. People could say, oh, well, no, I had that before the season started. But I like the Vikings. Vikings have as much talent as almost any team in football. The problem is they got a quarterback who shrinks in the big spot, and they underachieved. They underachieved last year. And their offensive line was bad, but they improved that in the draft. We'll see how they do this year. But they have a lot of talent, the Minnesota Vikings.
But I'll tell you what, the way Dalvin Cook played, if he can play like that all year and compliment Kirk so he doesn't have all that pressure on him, I think the Vikings can be very scary because the way Dalvin Cook was running that ball yesterday, and he was catching passes out of the backfield. So, he can be a great compliment to Kirk, in my opinion. But, the Browns, too, I don't know what the hell happened to them. The Titans just ran all over them.
Listen, I think we talked about that. Maybe we didn't specifically.
Yeah, we did.
That was my upset of the week. I picked the Titans to win that game. I didn't think they were going to blow them out. But I saw the Titans playoffs last year, and I said everybody thinks the Browns are going to win this game. I see a 5.5 point spread. Everybody's like the Browns are these paper champions. They got Odell Beckham. They got all these nice pieces. Means nothing. It means nothing. You haven't learned to play together. The Titans they're a veteran team. They've played together for a while. They have a very strong defense, and Derrick Henry is an emerging running back, and that's exactly what happened. They pounded the ball down their throat. The defense got after Baker, and they dominated the game. And I thought they could. I thought that they would beat them in the physicality, and I didn't watch the game, but I would assume that's what happened.
Yeah, and the way that the Titans defense played too, Freddie Kitchens had horrible play calling too, but like another game too, I didn't think the Jets would have lost that game. The way that they were playing in the first half and halfway into the second half.
I'm not surprised they lost. I'm surprised they lost after they had a 16-point lead. Going into and the Bills turned it over 4 times, I think, in the first quarter. But going into that game, I thought it was a coin flip. Because the Bills are a good football team. I'm not sleeping on that team. Giants are playing them. Well, after seeing how the Giants play this week, I can't sleep on anybody. But the Bills have a very I'm not going to say very good, but they have a good football team. They went to the playoffs 2 years ago. They improved that offensive line. They bring in 6 new offensive linemen. They bring in 2 wide receivers. Second-year quarterback, they usually take a jump. So you figure Josh Allen's going to be a little bit better this year. The Bills have a good football team. They really do. And I was surprised, though, they were able to come back after falling behind the way they did. The Jets really gave that game away.
Yeah, and another thing too, I think that AFC South now it's a 2-team division between the Texans and the Titans because Nick Foles just got hurt and he's on the IR. So but I'll tell you what, that Colts and Chargers game was a lot closer than I expected because it was going back and forth. Austin Eckler was making plays. Marlon Mack was. It was big play after big play. I did not think the Colts would be in that game like that they were. But that just shows the Chargers' defense without Derwin James, too, and Melvin Gordon. But Austin Eckler, if he can play like that, I don't know what the Chargers could do with Gordon because, they can either trade him, get some value, and have Eckler be their main back, or they can do the 2 dynamic duo threat. But, I think the AFC South, though, is between the Texans and the Titans now. Just saying that, the way the Titans and the Texans played tonight, Texans played a hell of a game. They just couldn't clinch it, but... Yeah,
I didn't get to watch the game because I was doing this, but I saw that the Texans got off to an early lead in that game, which surprised me. Yeah. I really thought the Texans were going to get blown out tonight because they're at home. They're on the road in New Orleans, tough place to play. The Texans have a lot of turnover to their roster right before the season started. Tunsil might not be acclimated. They lose Clowney. So I really thought the Saints would win that game by at least 10 points. I'm actually surprised it was as close as it was. I really am. That's not a disrespect to the Texans. I think they're going to be a good team. I just thought they would struggle tonight going to New Orleans.
Yeah, and the Raiders are playing really good right now. I think they were up 14-0 going into the half without AB. So, Tyrell Williams, he got a touchdown. So, I think the Raiders they're playing really good right now. Joe Flacco isn't playing his best, and but he doesn't really have a lot of weapons around him besides Lindsey and. I guess Emmanuel Sanders, if you want to still call him a legitimate threat, but
Cortland Sutton's a decent young receiver, but yeah, they don't.
Sutton, yeah,
they don't have a lot of talent on Denver right now.
Tell you what, though, I think this NFL season after Week 1 very interesting because you have a lot of key matchup next week. You have the Panthers and Bucks. The way the Panthers play, they can beat the Bucks, but the Bucks did fairly show up versus 49ers, except Jameis did what he always does and throws interceptions. And, you got the Patriots and the Dolphins, which the Patriots are probably going to win, but they always have a tough time down Miami.
Probably.
And my upset pick of the week,
What's the spread on that game? That's got to be at least 15 points. At least.
Oh, it is. It's 16, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're going to blow their doors off.
Yeah, and my upset pick of the week, I don't think the Bears are going to fare well on Mile High. I think the Broncos can pull out that game. I was talking to you yesterday about it too.
I agree with you.
No, Saturday.
I agree with you. I don't think that Bears offense is concerning. I don't think that was they're not going to score 3 points every game. But Nagy's a good offensive mind. I get it. But that Bears offense is concerning, and Denver is a tough place to play. Mile High Stadium. They've got a great pass rush. Denver's got a chance to beat the Bears, and the Bears could potentially drop into an 0-2 hole. And if that happens, panic in Chicago.
Yeah, and especially in September, it is very hard to play up in Mile High. But I think this NFL season is very interesting now. I mean, the AFC South is pretty much between two teams. I mean the West, the
Well,
AFC
I'm
West
not going to
is
say
two
it's between
teams.
two teams yet. I think the Jaguars could bounce back. I mean, I know that they still have a defense. I'm not picking them, but
yeah,
but yeah, I would say at this point the Texans are the clear favorite, and don't rule out the Titans. They're a tough football team, but
yeah, I'm just gonna say this real quick, and then you can get some other calls. I want to see what we can do against Pittsburgh next week because we go into Pittsburgh, Heinz Field, Seattle. We go into Heinz Field, but I mean the way that Steelers offense looked without Brown and Bell, I don't know what they're going to be bringing next week, but I'm pretty sure Tomlin will figure out something. But our offense needs to come out firing next week, and our secondary needs to be better because our secondary is giving up big plays to Joe Ross, and I don't know, our secondary is very concerning, and the offensive line needs to shape up. They were getting penalties and allowing Russell to get sacked. I'm pretty sure on one drive he got sacked at least 2 times, so that was very concerning too. But, I mean, at the end we pulled it out, which all that mattered. But I wouldn't say I'm concerned with Seattle yet, but, I mean, I think we still have it there. I mean, but we need to pick it up more. But we're not a September team. We play better late in the season. It's been pretty well known, but I appreciate you taking my call. I had to finish up my Spanish really quick to talk to you because I didn't know if you were ending it soon, and I really want to talk to you about week 1, but I appreciate you taking my call.
I appreciate the call, Brandon. Thank you for being a great supporter. Yeah. Always like talking broad NFL with you. Thank you for the call, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. You have a good night now.
All right, buddy. All right. Next call. What's going on?
Nothing. I'm chilling.
What? All right, you're chilling. Who is this?
This is Jay.
What's up, Jay? How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. As a Giants fan, oh man.
By the way, I saw somebody in the chat. I wanted to answer their question. I think they asked me what free agent wide receivers can the Giants look into now. I guess because of the potential concussion now to Stowe and Shepard. I don't expect them to do much in free agency. I'll take a look though at the available free agents. Maybe I'll make a video on it tomorrow. I think they'll promote somebody from the practice squad, whether it be Reggie White Jr., Sills, and Russell Shepard will get expanded work. I don't expect them to go out and sign some established wide receiver. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I just think they should bring back Alonzo Russell, who made a huge comeback against the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody has somebody picked him up yet or no. I don't think so.
Nah, he probably still a free agent right now.
If he is, I would absolutely. I'd bring him back.
There's one thing we definitely got to talk about: the Giants' defense. Oh God, it was god awful. Jeez.
This is as bad as it gets. As bad as it gets.
On TV, I wanted to cry so bad. I was like, every possession, it's an easy touchdown.
Yeah. Listen, man, the Giants' defense, they were lost. I mean, even that first drive, I said it earlier, they got off the field, but even then you could tell it was going to be a long day. And they got a lot to work on. The good news is it could only get better. And we played a really good opponent week 1, and this week we're going up against a little bit less of an opponent. Not that the Bills are bad, they're not. But and we're at home. So hopefully the Giants could learn from a lot of the mistakes they made and clean up some of the things. I don't expect a good defense, but maybe they play a little bit better. They keep us in the game because we need to win. We need to win on Sunday. Can't drop 2-2. Just can't happen.
Here's what I think. Cut Antonio Hamilton. He can't cover. Randall Cobb, he could literally walk. He could walk to the end zone and still give up a touchdown. That's how sad it is.
Yeah, I mean, they were wide open the whole game. And somebody in the chat, Chad, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. He asked, who was the best Giants defensive player yesterday?
No one.
No one. I mean, if I had to pick somebody, I would guess the guys at the front 3, just because they did a decent job at stopping the run. But, I mean, there's not one individual player that stood out to me. It was just a horrible performance.
I mean, somebody did decent. It was probably Tate Davis because he had a tackle. That's why.
It was just bad. All around. Bad. Defense was bad.
Yeah, Baker was getting beat by Amari Cooper the whole game. Dak ain't that good, though. We make him like he's better than Deshaun Watson.
Dak, well, Dak's decent. He's a solid quarterback. I'm not gonna come on here and tell you he sucks. He doesn't. The guy's had a winning career his whole life. Now, he's put in a great situation. Let's be fair, right? He came into a great offensive line, great running back. But he's a solid quarterback. Dak played great yesterday, but we helped him out a lot. And Cowboys fans are going crazy. And you know what? They should. You guys killed us. But all I'm going to say is, and I know it's a new offensive system and they're excited about it, put it in perspective, right? You're going up against the defense. They've never played together before. They're a young defense. It's the first game of the year. Don't get too high on Dak. See what he can do when he plays an experienced defense. I don't know your schedule, but they're playing the Redskins this week. Redskins have a decent defense. So see how he does this week. But I think Dak's a solid quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback.
Here's what on the offense, right? What was Pat Shurmur doing with the play calling on 3rd and 1? Give it to Barkley, who's the best running back in football. Give him the ball.
Dude, I mean, 3rd down, 1st down, 2nd down, 4th down, 8th down, 9th down. I don't care what down it is. Saquon Barkley should be getting the football as often as possible. There's no other way to put it. Doug Baldwin's available. Yeah, Doug Baldwin retired, though, Rudy. Doug Baldwin retired. But, yeah, Saquon Barkley should be getting the ball 20, 25 carries a game at least. At least. But anything else? How do you think we're going to do against the Bills?
Hopefully decent.
Hopefully decent is right. We need a win. But anything else before I let you go, buddy? You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
James Betcher has the worst play calling on defense.
Oh God, I got to give it more than 1 week, but the play calling, the execution, everybody's to blame for yesterday's performance. Yeah, it goes to Shurmur, Betcher, the defense, the whole coaching staff. It was a horrible performance. Horrible performance. There's no other way to put it.
Like when I was watching the game, I was like every single play. I was like, give this man his 20 to 25 carries. That's how we win every time.
It's common sense, man. But you know what? Maybe Shurmur will get it knocked into his head. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm gonna let you go because it's getting late. I want to see if I get a couple more people in. But thank you for the call, man. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. It's 11:52. MH not taking second times. It's late. Jordy Nelson retired as well, Rudy. Jordy Nelson. I don't know if anybody signed Crabtree. I can't remember, but he was available. I don't think they're bringing in a veteran receiver. I really don't. I really don't. You never know. Dez is available, but I'd be surprised. But guys, they can come out. It's possible. But guys, I want to say it's 11:53. Seems like it's dying down. I'm probably gonna do this next week right after the game because it'll be packed. Right, a lot of Giants fans are gonna want to talk right after the game, and I'm gonna try to make that a habit going forward. I want to have a call-in show right before the game, the night before, and I want to have a call-in show the day of the game after the game. So I'll be streaming the Giants game from like 1 to 4:30. And then we'll have the call-in show from like 4:45 to 7 before I go on Bad Dog's channel. So maybe 7:30. We'll talk Giants football. So we'll be doing it the day of the game during 1 o'clock games. So that's what we'll be doing next week. And then we'll be having a call-in show Saturday night before the game on Sunday. So we're doing this twice a week, Saturdays and the day of the game, back-to-back days. But I want to say thank you to everybody who came here, who stuck around. Raphael, JD, Rudy, Chad. You were Slank, Anta. How long you been doing? About a year and 3 months. Year and 4 months, Chad. A little over a year. Jay, thank you for tuning in. MHS, by the way, Talking Giants will be tomorrow night on this channel. Bad Dog will be on the channel. I'll be going over to his channel on Friday. Every Tuesday and Friday we'll have our talk show. Call-in shows on Saturday and Sunday. Stream on Sunday will be on this channel. The Giants game will be on this channel. So come on over. Rocky, have a good one. Darnell, have a good one. Benjamin, have a good one. EDP's #1 fan. Diehard Giants fan. Optic Panda. Thank you to everybody that was here. I'll have another video out tomorrow. I might have 2. Keep your eyes open. I'm going to have a video on the defense I made 4 videos today. If you haven't caught up with the content, check it out. But I'm going to have a video on the defense tomorrow, how they can improve it. May make another video as well before I go to work. Haven't decided yet, but definitely just one video out tomorrow. And like I said, we will have that Giant show on the channel tomorrow night. So be sure to come on by on tomorrow night at about 10:20 p.m. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great night. Have a great night. Let's